Yes, people, big up to all of you. I do hope you're all doing well. I appreciate you all finding the time to join the show this morning. Another Blue Morning show. Today we'll talk transfers and then we'll go into a lineup building exercise where we try to figure out Mauricio Pochettino's strongest 11. So it's a mix of transfers and then a lineup building exercise. I think that's going to be quite a lot of fun. We still have a match preview to do tomorrow morning, a few hours before the game starts. So do not worry too much about that. So yeah, a bit of transfers, and then we go into the lineup building exercise. But more importantly, since this is also a transfer, we have to start with a transfer intro. So sit back, relax, and let's get into the show. Yes, people, I appreciate you all finding the time to join this morning. I hope you're all eating blue, sleeping blue, waking up blue, and overall living the blue life. As for me, that's what I do. You know, we keep it interactive here. So the first thing I'll do is to see people in the chat, say hello to all of them before we kick started. A few, not too many transfer items to discuss here. Big up, coach. Big up to you too. Meet your boy. I hope you're doing well. I appreciate you finding the time to join. If you're watching, if you haven't, please meet his streams every day now. Please make sure to click the three dots to his name and go to his channel. Be sure to subscribe and let him know I sent you. I think he'd really appreciate that. I'm waiting. Jonas Sekoto, I appreciate you joining, Mr. Jonas. How are you doing? I hope you're doing well. And big up to my bro, DJ. Always nice to see you, DJ. I appreciate you finding the time to join. We're getting closer and closer to 17,000 subscribers. I think we'll be able to get there maybe by the time the transfer window shuts. And we have a big up to my bro here, Briani Yahayu, aka 343 Dilemma, aka Contender FC, aka Vivella FC, and now Jackson FC. I appreciate you joining, brother. I hope you're doing well. Santiago Muno, my assistant, I like to call you that. Because you're always in the chat helping me answer questions when I'm busy reading others. So I appreciate that. Much love to you. And we have Amaji Chicos in one. Hello. He says, one name. I appreciate that you saying that in our native language. That means a lot to me. Chicos, and more importantly, thank you for finding the time to join. And here we have Kevin Morilla saying, Kachila, hope you're okay. I'm fine, bro. I cannot complain. And more importantly, any day above ground is a good day. So with that, I want to say thank you to all of you that found time to join us this morning. For me, I know afternoon or soon for those in the UK and West Africa. I appreciate you all. Let's see what else do we have here in the chat. Says Kachila, we need to win against West Ham. We need to win against West Ham. Surely we'll talk about that tomorrow, because tomorrow during the Blue Morning Show, we will preview the match, do the predicted lineup and the predictions overall. The show has been scheduled 4 or 5 days ago, actually. Hi to you too, Chelsea Perspective. Wow. You had to go with the name Chelsea Perspective. Okay, that's fine. I appreciate you. Much love to you. I hope you're doing well. Let's see what else we have here. I am very early today. Yeah, Chimera, that's new. You're usually late, but lateness is greatness. I appreciate you joining. But that's, by the way, let's I want to just quickly appeal to those of you who are watching, but for one reason or the other, you're not able to participate in the chat. We thank you. We appreciate you. Just know that you provide great value to you. Watching alone does go a long way. But we want you to do us one more favor, one tiny bitty favor. If you can, just take a second, drop a like on the stream for us. That will definitely go a long way. Would really appreciate that. So thank you, and thank you so much. Yeah, nice name. Yeah, exactly. What do you want me to say? But much love to all of you. Let's address the transfer items we have lined up Well, yeah, thanks to you too. Yeah, it doesn't matter. I don't own it. I don't. You can say I don't own it by saying it. People do go by. You can say what you see people, multiple people going by the same name, so it doesn't matter to me really. But let's see what else we have here. Let's start addressing the items we have lined up. The first one, where is it? I can't find it anymore. Okay, now just give me 1 second here. What happened there? Did the window close? Give me a second. I'll be right back with you. But more importantly, big up to all of you. I appreciate you all. There you go. I have it open there. The other one wouldn't minimize it. So yeah. Thanks to you too. A big up to you too, JC. I hope you're doing well. I appreciate you joining, brother. Thank you. And I am joining. Welcome. Moshi, my South African brother. I appreciate you finding the time to join. I do hope you're doing well, and I sincerely do mean that. So the first item we have here, this is Roberto Disasi, still crying but pretending everything is okay. I hope this Disasi on Moses Caicedo, he says, I hope he has a great season at Chelsea. When I work with the players, once they leave, I only want good things for them. He may well mean it, but that's just I just wanted we don't have too much lined up to talk with regards to transfer, so I just thought maybe we should also talk about that one. Kachila, who is the new imposter in the chat? I don't know. I mean, it's a free word. He has the right to go by the name. I don't know, but let him enjoy it. It's a good name. All right. The coffee is good and it helps. Yeah, Ty, big up to you and welcome to the panel. I hope you're doing well. I appreciate you finding the time to join. Thank you so much for that. So next item, we have to go through this quickly. There's some tasty Premier League matches that, I know all of us would want to watch. So quickly, let's look at the next transfer item we have lined up. Then we move on. Let's say. Pep Guardiola for Chelsea, it is easier to spend than us. I could not sit here if we spent what Chelsea spent at the last two transfer windows. You would kill me. We would be under scrutiny like you couldn't imagine. Here's the thing: I don't even care. I think the second part of this particular report or statement from Pep Guardiola for me is this damage control. Probably after the first paragraph, he realized I think I'm making a mistake here. He says I don't criticize Chelsea for 1 second. I am saying if we do it, we are dead. I think it's absolute nonsense. You can say guilty conscience, in my opinion. He shouldn't have mentioned Chelsea, even if the journalists who were interviewing him said something to the effect of, "What do you think of Chelsea spending that much money this transfer window?" A sensible thing to do would have been to say, I don't care if they have the money, as long as they're fine. They have to. There are rules governing how you can say governing how much they're supposed to spend, or something to that effect. But him saying, I don't like this one bit, in my opinion. Although I'm not going to read too much of this. I tried the best I can not to read too much into it, but no, that's not okay. I don't know if you have anything to say with regards to Pep Guardiola's comment. I don't think it's okay. It's just whataboutism, maybe. But you go ahead.
It's unnecessary, in my
Yeah.
opinion, because to be quite frank, like you said, there's no reason to be calling Chelsea and saying that
Mm-hmm.
for Chelsea it's this and that. Just say that. Well, that's their choice, and they have the right to do it. He's basically said that, but he's also said things that are not even necessary. Why would you say that if we did it, um
Mm-hmm. So
unless the
which means
journalist
he's
asked
saying
him
it's
something
bad.
like that?
Which means he's saying it's
Yeah,
bad. It's too much. Yeah.
yeah, and he's saying that Chelsea have too much horsepower in comparison to Manchester City or what he could do. I get what
Mm-hmm.
he's saying, but it's unnecessary because he's saying that if you spend that much, there'll be more expectation to be delivering certain things in a season or in a certain time, and without them doing it, it lessens that sort of pressure and it gives time for him. But all of that was was unnecessary, and he caught himself after the first paragraph because he clarifies that he's not quote unquote criticizing Chelsea,
Mhm.
but then he finds a way to twist it to say that no, business is business. That's what he should have said. He just said business is business. The business is the business. They saw a lot this season, so they can do it. It's better he says the last sentence and that's it.
Yeah, just don't. You can say don't start saying if we did what they did, which means you're saying we did bad. But that's by the way. I'm gonna move on from that. And Ramson's Ty, I think there's some sort of feedback coming from your end. Maybe you can check it. Ransmons Bosso says, "What's popping, Coach? What's popping to you too, brother? Please, we don't need any more players. I'm guessing that's more your phone trying to help you spell, or maybe reading your mind after the signing of the goalkeeper. Let's see. Again, it's you can say up to the club and the manager. They know what they're looking for." And let's see what else we have here. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. Let's see what else we have here. Okay. Anything else? This says I think we can win the league. A lot of fans are skeptical, but with minimal injuries, I think we can. We can go all the way. The manager said he said the aim is to win the league, and a couple of the players who've spoken, they've said, yeah, the aim is to win the league. And if they believe we can do it, I'm all for it. But if you ask me my opinion, I have, yeah, I differ. Maybe. What was okay? Just they're having a conversation. They keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. Kachila, I'm about Hoban, the imposter. Now, if he tells his real name, his real nickname, we might be able to unban the original name. Otherwise, it's up to you. Just leave him. Honestly, it doesn't matter to me. And I'm serious. Don't worry about it. Kachila, I'm about to ban. Okay, now I understand. Like I said, don't worry about it. Honestly, don't worry about it. I don't care. It's a free world. So keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. 30 likes already, and we're just 19 minutes into the show. The aim is to get to 300 likes, and I believe we can. Tobeho, my bro, did you end your stream early? What happened?
Actually, do you hear background noise?
Oh, okay. Yeah, a bit of it. Yeah.
Yes, that's the issue now. So I'm gonna do it as soon as the background noise
Okay.
goes.
Okay. Yeah, that doesn't help. Do you have anything
Yeah.
to say with regards to what Pep Guardiola said here?
Coach,
Mm-hmm.
to be honest, Pep Guardiola have no right to say anything because the amount that he spent in order to build his team, it's a lot. So doesn't have he should just keep quiet and then never answer such questions because Man City has spent a lot of money buying players for Pep Guardiola in order for him to be successful. So yeah.
Literally, you could argue they bought the Champions League, given given how much, yeah, how much they've spent in total.
Ex-
Honestly, yeah, they spent so much. Nobody complained. Now they're actually in trouble. I know it would take years for the FA to, you can say, do anything to them or even punish them because they have the money to throw thousands of lawyers on it. But go ahead if you were still saying something. But he shouldn't be saying such. It's not mature.
Yeah, even if you can calculate from his first year until now, how much already Man City spent on defenders,
Mhm.
almost 500 million on just on only defenders, 500 million, almost there. So I want to talk about attackers and midfielders.
Yeah. Yeah, and in that case, let me see. I don't want to do a tapping on JC there. Let's see what else we have. Pep is not right. Pep is not right at all. Let me see. Pep is not right at all. But Chelsea are spending recklessly right now. 120 million for Caicedo and 120 million for Enzo. The more important thing is that we're not breaking any rules. There's a difference. Yeah, I just did a tapping on JC there. We've not broken any rules. City broke 115 rules, so they're in trouble. Must win tomorrow. 1 billion spent. FC Zalani, I appreciate you joining up. Thank you so much. They are adding the agent fees into FFP because of Man City. Really? That is that's serious. At least City get good players, unlike Enzo and Caicedo. Even though 90 million is too much for Guardiola, at least he's genuinely good. Okay, so you sound like a Man City fan right now. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. Let's get it to 100 as soon as possible. Remember, we're shooting for 300 likes. Let's see what else we have lined up here. These Chelsea have submitted a bid of around 15 million pounds for New England goalkeeper Georgi. Is that how you pronounce it? Probably Georgi Petrovic. The last name is easy because there are similar names. There are players who bear different similar names that ends with VIC, but we know how to pronounce that. Anybody on the panel that knows this guy, you can go ahead and talk about him. I don't know much about him, but they say he's good. He has the qualities, according to reports, he has the qualities to push Sanchez. I don't know anything about him, but if you know about him, you go ahead and tell us more. I haven't even looked at his statistics to be able to present a solid argument as to why I think, yeah, he's a good option for us. But if you're on the panel, go ahead, speak if you want to talk about him.
Yeah, I've just watched some videos about him. Actually, I said it as soon I saw that he's been linked to him. I've done my research. He's a decent goalkeeper. He's solid goalkeeper. So if Chelsea buys him for that price, I'll take it because I don't see necessity to buy a goalkeeper worth 85 million or 75 million, and then what if that keeper flops? You know how our fan base will react. So I'd rather have bargains so that even though maybe that goalkeeper has issues, they won't complain a lot because his price tag is low.
Yeah, talent is everywhere. See how, again, for a while now, we've been stuck with Kepa Arrizabalaga. We weren't able to sell him during the January transfer window because of his salary and all that. So it makes sense not to spend too much on the goalkeeper. So if that goalkeeper flops, if they start faltering, or if they're not doing well and you want to sell them, it'd be easier to sell them. So I'm all for it. And I trust them. I trust the scouting department. They've proven that they can actually unearth gems for us. Jackson being a perfect example, Badiashile and all that. So I'm happy. I'm not going to complain, really. So let's see what else we have in the chat now. We move on to the next item soon. We get into discussing. We got into discussing. You said the lineup building exercise, where we try to build the strongest 11 for Mauricio Pochettino. And let's see what else we have here, Rafa. No, coach, I just hate Caicedo and Penzo. Hate is a strong word. You can say you don't like them as footballers, so not to think that you're hating them as individuals. But I get what you mean by that, Rafael. But more importantly, nice to see you again. Big up, coach. Big up, Chad. Mudryk needs to play tomorrow. West Ham will struggle with his pace. Here's where let me explain something to you. The game that I think he had the opportunity to play was a game against Liverpool, where there were you can say the space was there for him to exploit had the manager selected him. But against West Ham United, I don't think he'd see so much space there. But maybe I could be wrong, but we'll see that tomorrow. Tony Tiger, more importantly, nice to see you. I appreciate you finding the time to join here. Coach, my lineup under the manager Poch will look something like this. Paxson, Mudryk, Penzo. Yeah, I get that. Let's see. Funny viral nonsense. Wow, what a name. I like that. City have been buying for the longest time without selling. Yeah, exactly. That makes a huge difference for us. We sold quite a lot of players and we're buying a lot. How much we're paying for them, I honestly do not care too much because I'm sure the owners, they've hired somebody to crunch the numbers behind the scenes and let them know, again, what not to do to avoid crossing the line. Yep. So let me get back to that comment again. City have been buying for the longest time without selling with any Okay, anywhere close to that value. Chelsea have sold a lot of players to make those purchases, so it balances out. You can say cancels out how much we're spending. The players we've sold cancels out how much we've spent already. Big up to you once more. And Noski says that goalie is in the LMS All Star team, so which means he's good. First of all, but how good? And one more question I have to ask: how good is his distribution? You know, that's very important to the way we like to play. And here's the link to my bros YouTube channel, to Berho from Madiba land. I think he should have been streaming by now, but I think he some background noise didn't allow that, so he had to halt it, and probably will start later on. So please go check it out. More importantly, be sure to subscribe to his channel. Let's help him hit 1,000 as soon as possible. Hit the like button, people. To Bell, who says 41 likes. Let's get it to 100. Remember, the aim is to get it to 300 likes today. We haven't done that too many times this particular transfer window. Chelsea fans grumbling about Hall. Same clowns. Want no name calling. Come on, Raphael. You know I love you, brother. Avoid name calling, please. I want to even make you a moderator, but avoid name calling. Same clowns say they're not face consequences. Yep. Coach, have you watched my boy Hugo? I haven't really. Honestly, it was a busy day yesterday for me. And if you can shoot me a message via Twitter, then that will help remind me to watch him. I really like it when people suggest players that I should watch and learn about them. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. I appreciate you all. Yeah, I don't know. Ty doesn't look like he knows this goalkeeper. I don't know him that well. I actually don't watch MLS matches that much, but until Soccer Perspective picks up, that's when I'm going to start be watching every game. But that's by the way, we move on to the next item. We have lined up here. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. I appreciate you all. 42 likes already. Continue, Glenn. If you're watching, just know we love you, and I've been praying for you, brother. Whether you believe in higher power or not, I do believe. I'm not overly superstitious, but I do believe there's a higher power. I've been praying for you. I hope you're recovering well. The same thing with Liam Lane. I hope you're recovering well. Much love to you too. I appreciate you all so much. Okay, let's talk about Liam Balogun. Ty, if you're there, how well do you know him? Do you think it's a good move for us? Because Arsenal, I'm hearing they're asking 50 to 70 million. If we're going to pay them that much money, then I'll start asking the question: why did we, in the first place, let Nacho Fofana leave alone? Because to me, from the little I've seen, Nacho Fofana is a much better player in my opinion. Will you go ahead? But I get it. He's an American. Maybe that's the main goal there. The market, more importantly. But you go ahead, Ty.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, just go
Um, Honestly, when I look at the football aspect of this in terms of rivalry, I don't think we should sign any player from Arsenal.
ahead.
And not for that fee, especially with the fact that we did what we did to them with Kai Havertz. Um, Florian Balogun or whatever his name is pronounced as.
Balogun.
I I've seen a few games of him and I've seen his statistics, and
Mhm,
his statistics to me are still concerning. So yes, he scored 21 goals and whatever,
mhm,
but some of them were penalties. A lot his conversion rate is still low despite scoring that. You have to look beyond the statistics in terms of the amount of goals he scored. Because if he's going to be scoring such amounts of goals, but when it comes on to finishing chances consistently, that's not
mhm,
him. It defeats the purpose of signing him. We're trying to avoid signing players where you have to be hoping that they score a goal in this game, or you're hoping that something clicks and they score. Nicholas Jackson, he has that ability. He has traits that makes him likely to succeed. But even then, he himself has struggled with scoring goals as well, and in terms of needing proper service. So you do have issues surrounding that. For me personally, I'm not keen on this player because despite his stats looking impressive, scoring 21 goals in total or something along those lines, it looks more of something that could
Ty, are you still there? Are you gone? Okay, Trevoh, it looks like Ty is having an audio issue. If you're there,
Yes, thank you.
do you know the kid Balogun very well? What do you make of us pushing to sign him or looking to sign him? I don't think we've gone that far into it, but rumors are we've started talking to his camp. What do you think? Do you think it makes sense at all?
To be honest, I'll start on this. It seems like we've been linked with so many strikers during this transfer window. So I don't want to take everything that has been reported as our potential player, especially in terms of strikers. We've been linked with many several strikers. So all I can say in terms of Bologan, as Ty said, like in terms of Chelsea and Arsenal, I don't want to give Arsenal this money. Uh, I think we should just respect our rivalry. Just forget about buying players from our rivals, and also in terms of football terms, Balogun is a potential, yes, but at the moment I don't want a potential striker. I want a striker that can finish goals. I want a striker that can score goals for us. Because at the moment we're still hungry. You can see Jackson's not finished article yet, but he have a good potential. But at the moment, since Nkunku is out due to injury, who will score fast? Sterling is not consistent. Mudryk is not consistent yet. Noni, we haven't seen him yet this season.
Mhm.
So I want I want a solid striker. If you're gonna buy a striker, I want a striker that can bang in goals for us, coach.
Yeah, but I think it makes sense. We have to mix it up. Before signing a striker, let's go for an experienced striker. And I read something, a new report that today saying desperation may well lead us to accepting the Lukaku plus cash for what's his name, Dusan Vlahovic swap. I wouldn't mind Dusan Vlahovic. He's 23, but he's experienced, more experienced than the striker, the key in question we're looking at on the screen here. And my bro, Chelsea Dan, I appreciate you joining. I hope you've been okay. Back from holiday, or you're still on holiday? Big up Coach Pal, Lavia and Caicedo signings. Actually got players. We actually got players that are class. Looking forward to the new season. I appreciate you, Dan. And we have the Other Time podcast. A big up a panel and a chat. A big game tomorrow. Yep, nice to see you, brother. I hope you're doing well. And for those of you that are mods here, I don't need to remind you to share the links to your channel. Selflessness, you could argue, is the reason why this community is growing as fast as it's growing. So you can go ahead, share the link to your channel so people can go check it out, brother. Bigger panel and chat, big game tomorrow. Excited to see the completed midfield. Even Tone and Paquita have us winning in their in their parlay accumulator. Yeah. Oh, what a creative way to mention the two gamblers. Allegedly. Yep, allegedly indeed. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. Big up. Thanks for the shows. What's next on transfer? Nothing new except for Balogun and the goalkeeper, the New England. Is it New England goalkeeper? Yeah, just two of them. And what's the other kid? Bradley, what's his name? Is it Katola? Or I think Katola also. The two players, I'm not too sure how serious we are with those because I haven't heard anything from my trusted sources, which you note, David Austin and what's his name, Fabrizio Romano. Raphael says, same Chelsea fans who were concerned about an elite striker like Vlahovic want a Folarin Balogun. Here's the thing. I think if anybody wants him, I'd say the hierarchy. It's business. You can say we're looking for more doors, more windows, if you prefer, to the U.S. markets. That's how I see it. Vlahovic and elite. I'm not saying he's elite, but he's a fine striker. He's a fine finisher on his day. Yeah, keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes to go along. Well, I'd take Bacola over Balogun. Bacola, I think he's good, explosive. He's a huge talent himself. Bacola dribbles, has pace, very selfless. That's one thing I like. Describe any player however you want. the one keyword I'm paying attention to is selflessness. Honestly, it does go a long way, and that's something I like in Jackson too. And plays across all positions in the attacking third. So yeah, I think he'll be a good addition if we're able to get it over the line. But that's going to be very difficult because PSG, Paris Saint-Germain, I heard, are also interested in signing him. So let's move on beyond that. We have this one here. Hall is a very talented player with a huge future. But if Poch don't want him, there might be a reason why. I wouldn't say Poch don't want him. Maybe the manager feels like he isn't ready yet, and he's a midfielder, or maybe they think feels like he can play someone else and not on the flanks as a fullback or maybe as a winger. And there is a space for him right now, and we wanted to loan him out. And the reports are that he wanted to leave on a permanent and has connections with has connections with Newcastle and all that. But that's, by the way, hi coach. I hope Chelsea win tomorrow. I hope we win tomorrow. I want us to get through the transfer items we have lined up so that we can go into the lineup building exercise. A big up to you too, Mark Neum. Coach Fabrizio Romano said keep an eye on Vlahovic or Lukaku swap. Apparently, it may happen, even though most probably it won't, because Lukaku agreed personal terms with Juventus already. But he says the chances are desperation may well lead us to agreeing to that. And Patrick Joyce, I hope you're doing well. I appreciate you joining. For Lauren is a good player, but not for 15 million. Yep, I agree with you. And Ty has shared the link to his channel. Please go check it out. Be sure to subscribe and let him know I sent you. I appreciate you all for all the support. Let's see. Hello to you too. Sosa says Todd Bowley, don't do it. Don't sign that Balogun guy. Please, once more, go check out Ty Talks YouTube channel, Chelsea Sessions. Be sure to subscribe. Let's help him get to 1,000 subscribers as soon as possible. Let's see what else we have here. Anything? Apparently, Arsenal won 50 million for Balogun. I don't think we should pay that much money for him. We're going to smoke West Ham tomorrow. Be nice to have 3 points, as Moyes has never beaten Poch since a manager. Wow, I didn't know that. But good point there, Dan. I appreciate you bringing that up. Giovanni Jafta says it's too early to judge Jackson. Nobody's judging him, but I think he made a point. Jackson will become a huge player for us. I still have faith in him as our number one striker for this season. Just give him, just give the lad time. Here's the thing, something I'm going to say quickly. How Jackson is different. If you have a number 9, you can say that all they do is they don't just wait in the box and wait for the ball to get at the end of the crosses, whether on the carpet or in the air, to put it in the back of the net. If they do more than that, if they can drop deep, participate in play in the play, create chances for their attacking pairing, then you have a good player. Even if they don't score, they'd still be effective for you. But in somebody like Lukaku, you don't have that. He wants the ball on his feet for him to finish. At certain areas, he doesn't adjust his movement if he sees the ball cannot get to him and all that. But that's, by the way, I think good comment there. But Jackson is well equipped to do well. Even when he doesn't score goals, he'd do more for the team. Bakola is 10 times better than Balogun. So maybe that's why we're looking at him. Let's see anything else. I want to move on to the next item we have lined up. I think we should go for him, Bakola. Rumors are that we've accelerated our pursuit of the player. Hopefully, we'll be able to get it over the line, but it's not going to be easy because PSG are also interested. Was it that Poch didn't want him, or just that Hall was not wanting to keep playing left back and instead play in his natural role for his boyhood club? I don't know, but even his boyhood club, they're signing him as a fullback.
Coach,
Yeah, go ahead.
would you take Taremi at Chelsea?
The Arsenal player?
No, Taremi, Porto striker.
I don't know him that well, and I don't like just pretending I know the player. So okay, I would take him, honestly.
Okay, you remember the goal, the game we played against Porto, the time we won the Champions League. He scored that beautiful goal. You remember
the overhead kick? Did they score overhead kick against us?
Yes.
Was he the guy?
Yes, that's him.
Yeah, beyond that goal, I don't know him that well, honestly.
Okay, yeah, that's him, because he's 31 years old, and then so he got some experience. Why not take him for 2 to 3 years if it's possible? I know our model is just to buy upcoming talents, but in terms of striker, man, I wish that we can get someone who got experience that can groom Jackson and Brocha.
Mhm. Yeah, let's
Yes.
see what the club does, but it doesn't look like we're looking at that age bracket, if you ask me, honestly. Yeah. So let's see what else we have here. Balogun cannot even bench in Keita, who's not that good either. He's not it for me. Yeah, but if anything, if we go for him, that is beyond. Then we're signing him, not just because of his playing ability, just because, yeah, it's another window or door to the U.S. market. 13 days until the transfer window closes. That's yeah, a week and a few days. Yes, say for real, let's say keep dropping the likes on the stream. People that likes to do go along. We appreciate you all. Anything else to address here? Otherwise, we'll move into the next item. Thoughts on Jeremy Doku, coach? He's a fine player. I did a scouting video with Matt J Balls 2 years ago, but I haven't followed him after that much. But that was when I learned a lot about him then. I think he's a fine player, and if City are looking at signing him, that tells you more. Balogun would be a snub to Fofana and Broya. I would be happy with a veteran player for a short term, like we did with Giroud. And again, if we sign Balogun, it begs the question: why did we let Fofana leave on loan? Because to me, he's a far better player from the little I've seen. Maybe I'm being unfair because I don't know Balogun that much. I just need a standard number 9 that can work with Jackson, mix it up a bit. I think it makes sense. So, Wala, I appreciate you saying that. Let's see what else we have here. I am not even a joking, coach. Balogun is a Baloney. Saturday pregame day vibes. Yep. We have a pregame. We have a pregame show tomorrow. Watch along. And then post-game analysis, halftime analysis, and post-game analysis also. Saturday pre-game vibes, a lot of positivity in anticipation. How can we have a stone in our rice curry? Rafa says, Coach, if you have time, if you time me out, then please time me out next time. I didn't time you out. If anybody timed you out, it wasn't me. I like you. I'm just, you can say, getting you to use less and less. You can say strong, less and less of the strong words you've used, because we're not into that here. You know I love you, brother, and I respect your opinion. Nah, he's not even better than Solanke, to be honest. Yeah, exactly. So it doesn't make sense. That's why I've told you guys, if we're serious about getting him, then it's because of the U.S. market, not solely because of his playing ability. Yep. Yeah. Ooh. Your name. Wow. Ooh. Okay. Let me just call you Ooh. I think Fofana is a good player and should have been kept and not sent out on loan. You can say Graham Potter and the Graham Potter did him dirty. So the incoming manager didn't see much of him. Yeah, that's probably the case. So, but now I think we'll be seeing enough to know that it's because he's been, from what I've read so far, he's doing well for them. Pep was chatting rubbish about Chelsea yesterday. He was pointing fingers at us. What about is a maybe? While the office fingers up, half of his fingers are pointing to him and his club. Yeah, that's another way to say it. That was absolute nonsense. You could say like something you get from somebody who doesn't, you could say, think before they speak. I think he would have just said, "It's not my business. There are rules. So if they break rules, then they face the consequences. But if they spend it, they have the money. So just something like that." And he doesn't have to respond. Actually, Wala Gabriel says that tomorrow will be a big one for Chelsea. We are getting the win. We're too confident today, honestly, and that's a concern for me. I have to be honest. I honestly like you, Rafael, but don't accumulate too much hate. He will start to have you. I love Rafael. He knows his stuff, but yeah, I think we can polish him. Rafael is a new signing. He's a new player here, but he's still raw, so we can help him become polished. Coach, what I don't get is why did Tuchel not work on players of fitness? Makes no sense. Managers differ. Managers like, for instance, Ancelotti, he's into fitness quite a lot. Managers like Pep is more about the ball. It's a ball drills, keeping the ball drills and all that than fitness. I think you could say Sam. No, Enrique is a mix of both. Enrique is also into fitness. Managers differ in so many ways, but I get what you. That's a good question there. But Tuchel's issues with the players he had at the time, at his disposal, you can say it's not. I think it was beyond fitness. Some players didn't want to be here, and that's a huge problem on its own. If that makes sense. Let's see. Needs much to ring. I like Rafael, but I like it that we're joking about this in a very good way. It's love all around, and he knows that. Let's see what else we have lined up here. We're going straight into the lineup building exercise. The last time we played a 3-5-2, but I think it was a hybrid approach. So if this was a hybrid approach, actually, it was a hybrid approach, but I can't quite put my finger on how the mix. I'm not too sure. Trevoh, were you able to, you could say, to figure out how that was a hybrid approach according to the manager? He said it wasn't really.
To be honest, I think in those few minutes that we struggled, it was a sort of a what you call 5-4-1, something like that. Then he changed it to the 4-2-3-1, 4-1-4-1. Even he even said it. That's why you saw Chilwell as a winger, not as a left back. And then Chilwell was playing as a left back. Levi was playing as a left back. So that's why he changed it. And then we got our momentum back, and Liverpool struggled against that. So I didn't understand the tactics very well, but he tried to explain those tactics, but I don't like it.
It's hard, but it worked. That's the most important thing there.
Yes.
Because if you're saying it's hybrid, when we're attacking, even Colwill was actually beyond where you see a Chilwell here. Sometimes he was at the opponent's half. The same thing as Disasi didn't venture forward that much. So I'm not too sure, but I think it would take more time for us to figure out what he did down the day. Ty, do you have any good do you have good understanding of how we operated on that day, if it was indeed a hybrid, if you're still there, Ty? Okay, doesn't look like Ty is there. And Amido is now, yep, you can argue that. The Blues, and that's Tapido Radisebe. I appreciate you joining, brother. I hope you're doing well. Keep dropping the likes on the people.
Coach,
Yeah.
it's Tapelo.
Tapelo. Oh, Tapelo. Apologies for
Yes, from South
putting your
Africa.
name. Tapelo, okay, it's a Thapelo. Yeah, you're correct. Tapelo Ladisebe.
Yes.
Radisebe. Did I pronounce the last name correct?
Raditebe. But Raditebe. Yes, correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Tapelo Raditebe. Nice to see you, brother. I appreciate you joining. Sorry I butchered your last name, your first and last name before, but I have a brother who's South African too, and he's corrected me. He sent off for another round of the stadium. Kid, let's see what else. Just leave him. Just leave him. I don't have to read everything he has there. Fusen, let's see what else we have here. Keep dropping the likes. Don't time him. Don't time him. Chimera, just leave him. Please. Just let's help brush him up so he knows how we operate here. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes to go a long way. I want us to win by 3 goals or more tomorrow. Wow. We'll be in a beat. You could say, how do I say it? Overconfidence here. I don't like Stalin, and I still address him by his name. Show some respect. I think we're not into name calling, but just tell him. I think he would have listened anyway. Ooh, I like your name again. Ooh says the recovery was a problem in our last match against Liverpool. I think it would be good if James was recovering to help the defense in the last game. Maybe because he was already sensing that the injury, that you could say the discomfort from the injury he's suffering right now. and probably didn't move that much. But that's, by the way, 7 even, and mine is pronounced as a 7, coach. So we're into ironing out how you pronounce people's name now. Okay. All right, 7. I appreciate you. So the 7 there stands in for the S that should have been there in the first place. But I appreciate that. Much love. And Raphael, if you're watching, we love you. And please do not time Raphael out. Let's just tell him what to do and what not to say, please. Respect, man. Give respect, and you get respect. And I don't think he's a CFC fan. I think he is really. I think it's just him. He's no different from Eugene, really, honestly. Hell yeah, Jackson will score in Mudryk if he starts. But here's the thing: of the 2 games, of the Liverpool game and the West Ham game tomorrow, of course, the one that you can say more, I'd argue that will be more suitable for Mudryk would have been the Liverpool game, not really the West Ham game. I think Cucurella is now trying to fight for his place, which is fine, and we want that. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. So there you go. Let's have this conversation right now. Let's see what else we have here. Poch said it was a 4 at the back for Liverpool. Why it always is shown as the 3 at the back? It's difficult to say. Maybe he's trying something, you can say, unorthodox. That would take time for us to understand. But Mark Smith, more importantly, I appreciate you finding the time to join. So, Trevoh, let's talk about the structure. Here's the thing, where the problem is. What structure do you think that we can use to accommodate Enzo Fernandez, Romeo Lavia, and Moises Caicedo? I think the first structure that comes to mind will be 4-3-3. What do you think, if you're still there, Trevoh? And if you're in the chat, I want to hear from you. What will be the most effective structure to accommodate those players? We have 4-2-3-1, which is the manager's most played. He's not the you can say the structure he prefers. There's also 3-5-2. The last, you can say what people are saying that was the structure we used against Liverpool, and then there's a 4-3-3. So which of the structures do you think will be the most effective for Pochettino before we pick his strongest lineup?
At the moment, coach, I would say 4-3-3. If not, if he really wants to play 4-2-3-1, then I would risk to put Enzo Fernandez as a number 10, because Enzo Fernandez is a playmaker. He can pass those champion passes. He has a good awareness, but again, I don't want to spoil his talent as a number 10. So we rather play as a 4-3-3 for the time being, unless we get another creator that can help us. Then cool, we can play 4-2-3-1. So let's say 4-3-3 for now.
Yeah, 4-3-3 is you can say the simplest. That will make it easier to accommodate the 3 of them. And Enzo, I think I agree with you. I know a lot of Chelsea fans are calling for him to play further forward. When you say further forward, where do you mean? If you say further forward, the most suitable will be the number 10 position. And he's not happy to play on the flanks as a winger. So it just doesn't make sense. Enzo traditionally is a deep lying playmaker. I think the reason we've been calling for a more defensively solid player is for him to have the independence to be adventurous, more adventurous on the pitch. But he starts from a deeper position because, first of all, Enzo, you could say he dictates the pace of the game. So that's important. You can say he's the orchestrator, maybe, for lack of a better term. So it wouldn't make sense to play him as a 10. I think if you play him as a 10, like you just alluded to, would be wasting his talent. As well as we have, Pochettino is just a man for Chelsea. He is bringing the potential of the players. Yeah, I do agree with you. And that's for a while. Like Gabriel, I appreciate you with that comment there. But I think we can work with a 5-2-3-1. Wow. Okay. What? Oh, okay. You may want to look at that number again. It was reported that Disasi played against Liverpool to win more aerial battles as Silva is best as the last man. Then Disasi will most likely start against against West Ham United because they're even more physical and they have some heights there. But we'll do the lineup tomorrow. Right now, we're picking the best 11 for the entirety of the season, strongest 11. So Colwill on Salah's side to stop the air balls, and Disasi on Luis Diaz's side to stop the air balls. Wow, that's some masterstroke there from the manager himself. He seems to have the same fluidity that Porter had. He is just better at implementing it. You could say maybe better tactically. I think I agree with you. It's easy, coach. Bench Sterling and start Caicedo there. Caicedo has played even right back and can do a good job at top. And I think we're better him playing in the midfield area so that Enzo can have the independence we've all been calling for to be more adventurous on the pitch and be more effective overall. Let's see what else we have here. Enzo over Carney in the 10th position. Okay, maybe. Let's see. West Ham plays a low block of football and fast counter attack by maximum the speed of their maximizing the speed of their forwards, which means that was why I said I was shocked that Mudryk didn't start against Liverpool because he would have been more effective than Chilwell, in my opinion. I'd rather him start against Liverpool than against West Ham United because there wouldn't be too much space to exploit. But maybe he learns to play against a low block. He can also go with a 4-3-2-1 or 4-2-3-1, or 5-3-3. I just don't want to laugh, but attack tomorrow, Mudryk, Jackson, and Mudryk. We're not picking the lineup for tomorrow. We're picking the lineup, the strongest 11 for the season overall. If the transfer window shuts and there's a need for us to make changes, we will gladly do that. If Pochettino opts to use our midfield trio of Caicedo, Lavia, and Enzo, we are going to be a team to challenge for the title. I think he would want to do that because they all differ in so many ways. The better passer of the ball is Enzo. The more defensively solid, I'm not too sure. The more defensively solid of the three of them, not Enzo, take out Enzo, the more defensively solid of Lavia and Caicedo, you could say Caicedo. But beating the press, you can say beating the press, leave it for Romeo Lavia. I think we're able to replace, you can say Jorginho and Kante in Romeo Lavia because he's a mashup of the two styles of those players. Lavia can help you beat the press effectively. So I'm happy we signed him. Floating like Hazard, once we have two covering, he can get forward as much as as needed. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. Big up to you, to Martin. Oh, I haven't seen you in a while. I hope you're doing well, brother. Please do let us know in the chat. It's been a while. I had to take some time off of socials for personal reasons. Sometimes, it's good for your mental health. 11. Why did you have to do that? I think it was a mistake. Just leave him alone. Ooh, I like your name, and I can't stop saying your name every time I see you have something there. Ooh says 4-3-3. But he shouldn't start with Sterling. He should play maybe Nani if he has a good form, and Mudryk. Sterling is not doing well for the team. I think the manager himself did say something to the effect of Nani has improved, and that which means he has a chance. Keep smashing the like button, people. Also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. 61 likes. Remember, we're shooting for 300 likes. Oh dear, now I'm having this.
Coach.
Yeah, go ahead, brother.
I have a feeling that he might play 4-3-3, and in the midfield, he will play Caicedo, Enzo, and Conor Gallagher.
Let's see, but we're here to pick the best lineup for the entirety of the season. But I get it.
Yes.
I think it makes sense that Conor Gallagher starts again because he did well against Liverpool. The entire team didn't start well, but they all, you can say, as the game progressed, they all grew into the game. Even Chukwuemeka also did well. He helped us control the game. Disasi will start tomorrow for sure, most likely. I think so. That was why the YouTube short lineup I did, I called it preferred 11. Best 11, can work a 3-4-2-1. Yeah, let's see. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. Once Silva leaves, who will lead our back line? I say we get I think we have here's the thing, Rafael. I think that back line by the time Silva leaves, I think Disasi can lead. He led the Monaco back line, and especially if you pair him with Badiashile, I think will be good. And even who else there? He can lead. I think Badiashile looks like he can lead. Maybe we need a more experienced player. I do not know, but I think actually Disasi can be that guy, in my opinion. I say we get the Javril just to lead and help the youngsters. That may well happen. Rafael, I like it. I think Rafael will get used to how we you can say how we operate here. I like him so much. He has good contributions in the chat there. So with time, he gets to learn how we operate. I am going with 3-2-4-1 based on a 3-5-2 with Lavia as a DM. Wow, that makes sense. Caicedo as a box-to-box CM. We didn't even actually select that one. Enzo as a CM with number 8, a playmaker. Wow, I think that makes sense. That makes sense to a certain extent. Honestly, bench Carney, bring on a sub because he's still learning. That's a good suggestion too. Who would be playing as an attacking midfielder in this season? Nkunku, who's also told you he's a number 9. I'm not too sure. Maybe we'll sign an attacking midfielder. What's next for Santos? Is he the new bench warmer? It wouldn't make sense if he sits and that. Well, you can say, that's not going to be good for his development. I put Disasi with Lavia, double pivot. Can Disasi play in the midfield? Really? Zia's finally gone. Yep, congratulations to us. He's gone, and I hope he does well. He's a fine player. But at one point, he became a liability, in my opinion. Colwill, Silva, and Gusto. Okay, back 3. Okay, Ziyech are finally gone. Yep, let's celebrate that. And Ugochukwu Ugochukwu, that sounds like an Igbo name there. Big up to Agent. Okay, Hazard. He said Hazard for playing a role in our amazing midfield revamp. I don't think we're getting him back. But Mr. Chukwu, thank you for that. In a defensive situation, it could be a 4 center backs in parallel. That's deep, really. Is there a possibility that Silva might get rested with a CB pairing of Disasi and Colwill? Here's the thing. I said this last season, even when I make lineup, the YouTube Shots lineup that I make, I always mention we have too many young players in the defensive line that Silva's importance, it cannot be overstated. Without him, we'd have a bunch of, the average age have changed now because Disasi is 25, isn't he? I think so. Isn't Disasi 25? Can you help me? I think Disasi is 25. So with his age, you can say that the average age changes. But even at that, sorry, that's correct. Okay. So even at that, the average age, I think, they still have to.
Yeah, I'm saying that's correct.
Okay, thank you so much. If resting him will be not in the second game. I think we'll still need him now. Maybe if we start winning games consecutively and the manager will just try it, he just risk it because it's still a risk starting games without him and see how it works. Then if it works, then we'll be resting him every now and then. But now he's too important to be rested. We've seen that before. We were able to do without him when we had Koulibaly because Koulibaly, hate him or love him, when you give him that mantle of leadership, he does well. And play him centrally in the back 3, he does well. But let's see what happens there. I think we've seen him rest quite a lot, but not just 2 games into the season, no. Even 3 games into the season, if we have space in between, he gets rest before the next game. If we have a few days, like 4 or 5 days before the next game, he plays again. I don't think this is the time the manager would risk resting him because you could argue he's probably most likely the player he trusts the most in that squad, in my opinion.
You don't need to rest him against West Ham either.
Yeah. With every good performance, Gallagher is adding another 10 million to his market value. You could argue that. And Chimera here says Poch likes Gallagher. I'm not gonna lie, he will surprise a lot of fans when he picks him over certain man. I think he's yeah, I think he's gonna be playing. If he stays, he will play a game, but not every game. He will play quite a lot. Chilwell or Maatsen on left wing, a left wing or left midfielder, and Stalin or Mudryk on right wing or right midfielder. Okay, Disasi is not the leader in my opinion. We need a leader like Silva, Nesta, and Terry. You could argue that, but he can learn from Silva. Ooh, I like your name. I think Badiashile can lead. Just the fact that you can say he's calm on the ball and reads the game quite well, maybe, but I can't jump to that conclusion right now. He was one of our best last players last season. When will he be back? Not too sure. I think early September maybe. I'm not too sure. We need at least one senior attacker attacking. Yep, 3-5-3. Bob Brown, nice to see you. I am going for 4-4-3-3. Santos as a lone six. Enzo and Caicedo flanking him. Okay. 4-4-2 also can work. Okay, that's another one there. Santos is a very good player, and he should be played alongside too. Okay, he shouldn't be left in the bench, and we also have Ian Maatsen. Wow, we have good players there, but unfortunately, we'd see two or you can say three more. You can say at least one or two more players leave. We need at least one more senior attacking player. I think I've read that before. But Bob Brown, nice to see you. Coach De Javril will be a good leader at the back. Again, he's okay. He's slow. If you're a defender, how slow you are isn't really my problem. As long as you're an intelligent player, that does go a long way. As long as you can read the game quite well, he's slow. But I would take one slow defender just for him to lead and help youngsters like Colwill. It will. That's if we lose a Silva. So it makes sense that we need another leader at the back. Honestly, Coach, you miss the tapping from 1 yard out. It happens sometimes. Yeah, wanted to highlight the role played by Hazard in getting Romeo Lavia. Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. Silva will not play the cup games. Yep, that's another way to rest him. That is when he will get rest. So good one from you, Mark Smith. Gallagher is a perfect Poch player, humble and hardworking, and he can make him better. Honestly, and I like that. Dumpry says, good morning, Kuchi. Good morning to you too. Big up everyone. Lavia and Caicedo plays tomorrow. I don't think Lavia plays tomorrow. We need to allow Silva groom these young lads. And I don't think Lavia plays tomorrow. Nope. I do not think that happens. Maybe Caicedo. And Caicedo is a huge maybe because that prolonged transfer saga must have taken a toll on him. He's a human being emotionally, honestly, and that can be a serious. Maxwell Claves says the whole reason we signed Caicedo and Lavia is so Enzo doesn't play as a six. That's not his position. But I'm not sure that argument is it's one that cannot be easily settled. Enzo, honestly, for me, is you can say is more effective as a deep line playmaker, honestly, in my opinion. But I get it. If he plays further forward and does well, fine. But for me, he can help us actually control games. Coach, you think people overhype Santos because he's Brazilian? No, I think he has the kid is good, and I've watched him. I've watched him too. When you watch him play, he's actually mature beyond his age. There's a good player in him, but he's still very young. Still has a lot to learn. And the club knew that. Even last season, the club really did push to get him a work permit so he can be part of the team. But you could argue at the time we were desperate. We were so freaking desperate because we were languishing mid-table, but closer to the relegation zone. Actually, like I am a Santos is good, but a Charlie Webster is generally better than him. Wow. Okay. That's some argument comparison right there. Sorry.
That is an unfair comparison because they play two.
You think it's an unfair comparison?
Yeah, because they have two different rules.
Okay. Disasi completed 89 passes against Liverpool, the fourth highest for a Premier League debut. Wow. Since Up to Joe recorded the stats, he started recording the stats in 2003. Opta via CFC. Wow, thank you for that. Let's see, but Silva will leave next year. That's why I want the Javriel. I think it makes sense to groom the young players. If they are not groomed, they won't live up to expectation. They need to learn from him. And Jerry Z, I haven't seen you in a while, like 1,000 years. How are you doing, brother? Your 1970s style checkout shirt is truly impressive, coach. Wow. You have to call that out. Classic. My suggestion is to utilize Conor Gallagher in the position of a 10 on the field. The manager may well do that. You never know. But Jerry Z, more importantly, you need to get on the panel as soon as possible. More importantly, much love to you, brother. I appreciate you. Webster is bang average. There you go. You have the argument there. Poch has also been having one-on-one discussions with Enzo in training. I think he is building him to play in attacking roles instead of just playing playmaking. That works for me if that's what the manager wants him to do. How many players are we signing? I'm not too sure. AB, big up to you too. It's been a minute. I hope you're doing well. I appreciate you joining the show. So let's get into let's start with 4-3-3 like everyone agreed. Right now, Sanchez. I'm gonna say Sanchez there. Yep. With a Z here. I know everybody agrees. We have a problem here. If we're saying the strongest tie, the back line, left back, Chilwell, we don't have any other option there. Okay, if we're using the term strongest, Reece James's injuries becomes an issue. So if you're going to be part of the strongest 11, you have to be fit. Ty, what do you think?
Yeah, that's true. He can't. It's kind of seem like you're taking a dig at him, but yeah, you have to be the strongest.
Yeah, you
Not
have to
only the
stay fit
strongest.
to be part of the strongest 11. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I think in terms of that, Malo Gusto is probably the better option. Malo Gusto did get injured recently in the year though, so I just hope that he'll be good because he had I think he picked up a similar injury in his foot. So yeah, but I mean in terms of that, there's a debate to be had about that position though, in my opinion, because you do have Disasi who can play there as well, and you do need the tall players um in the team. So I don't know, but yeah, Reece James needs to be able to stay fit for him to be
Yeah,
classified as a part of the strongest 11.
yeah. So in my opinion, I would say yeah, Gusto. Because yeah, but let's ask those in the chat. But Ty, let's go. The midfield of three. You go ahead. Pick the names. You think will go there. We'll use the vote because Badiashile comes into play. I know he's not fit, but we have to consider him. And Chilwell and Colwill. But let's go. Ty, the three-man midfield here. Centrally, for me, in my opinion, I would say Lavia centrally, flanked by Enzo. Maybe Enzo, you can say on the left hand side because whenever Enzo plays on the left, he's able to take those coiling shots. Whenever he's close to the final third or close to the box. But that's just my opinion. But how you go? Your midfield three. Who's central? Who's on the right to the right of the person and to the left?
Yeah, I think Lavia. In terms of the strongest 11, I think Lavia will be the middle. Um, I think Enzo, like you said, in all honesty, it doesn't matter what side Enzo is on. He's still influential. But I think for the left, I think it would be better to have him, especially if you're going to be looking at some tactical thing at play, which is to have Caicedo on the right, because he
Mhm.
can chip in as a deep right back or as a. I'm gonna say something that I don't even think is a real position, but a false right back. Because he loves to be deep, and you do need as much support on that side as well because a lot of the teams that you play against they do have pacey plays on their left. So in terms of that, I do think that you'd have Enzo on the left and probably Caicedo on the right. And it could be vice versa because Caicedo is quite known for being good on the left, and that is one of the reasons why players like Levi Colwill benefited with him being
Mhm.
there at Brighton. But I think Enzo is probably better on the left because you do need to facilitate those players that we have as left wing backs or left attackers or left forwards. So I think Enzo on the left and Caicedo on the right works for me.
Okay, 1 second. James, And then we have Gusto. For me, at this point, here's the thing. A worrying. There's actually a worrying statistics that 40% of Reece James' overall career, you can say, as a senior player, came when he played for Wigan. That's concerning. Which means since he emerged as a senior player for Chelsea, he hasn't done much really for Chelsea. Uh, yeah, did you see that, Ty? I'm sure you've seen that yourself.
Yeah,
That's
I
really
have, but it's
concerning.
horrible, man.
Yeah,
It's
it is
horrible.
horrible.
He's missed approximately at least 30 games. Even more than 30 games. I think like he's missed 40 and more games for Chelsea since he's been since he was promoted to the first team. So that is crazy, honestly. It's horrible because, and I mean, I've always said this. In order for you to be a good player, you need to be able to be to have good strength and fitness. And I've always said that I think he needs to have surgery. I think he had surgery for something, but I think there's something else. And um, Roger and I already said that earlier. It's concerning because it appears more and more that he may not get to hit his highest potential if these injuries keep persisting and they keep appearing. So it's concerning, but yeah, that statistic is horrible to hear because it means that he really hasn't been as influential as he could be if he was fit.
Yeah, it is seriously concerning. Big up to you two, A, B. Let's see what else we have here. Keep dropping the website. Okay, you're having a conversation there. Ooh, I agree with Gusto for the right back over James. And that's not because Gusto is a better player. You can say he's a good player too, but James not being fit, you can't just consider him again as part of the strongest 11 for the season because there's a chance he actually won't play 30, 20 games in total. Let's see what else we have here. This says, can we vote on the players? We're doing that already. Kochi, thank you so much, Dumpre, for saying that. And we have Max, Clips Enzo on the left. Caicedo is better on the right. And Enzo also, whenever he's on the left, if he's close to the 18-yard box, as he's always taking that Cucurella shot from outside the box there. I think it makes sense. Plus, Caicedo, who's also played as a right back, can be effective in protecting the back line too on the flank from the flanks area because he'll be going up and down, supporting whoever plays on
Yeah,
the right hand side. So Ty, let me fill in the names. I'll catch up.
it's
Fill in the
okay,
names
man.
you called for me. Sorry.
It's okay, man. You're taking that stuff. You know what I said about Caicedo. It's all right, man.
Yeah, you don't know. They call me the tapping merchant, but it's simple. But I'm on side because I understood what you explained. My preferred lineup: Sanchez, Silva, CB, Colwill, CB, Augusto, right back, Chilwell, Maatsen, left back, Disasi, CDM. Really, why are people calling Disasi to play CDM? Gallagher, midfield, Carney, attacking midfielder, Mudryk, okay, Nani and all that. Okay, I get it. Rafael also let's having a conversation there. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. Andrew Reece said, Coach, while we can certainly discuss the 4-3-3 formation for analysis today, I'd like to bring up Poch's post-match press conference, the match against Liverpool. What he said. He indicated his intention to shift to a 4-2-3-1, his preferred structure formation in the coming games. Yep, I think we'd see that. Maybe we should not use James in a wing back role. Heavy toll on those legs running up and down. But did he actually run that much against Liverpool? I didn't think he ran that much, in my opinion. But that's something. Who I think was it Roger that suggested that too. But let's see what happens there.
That's not good enough.
Yeah, that's not good enough either. Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, let's see. Then tied to the right, you said Caicedo, right?
Yeah.
Is it Caicedo or Caicedo?
I've
We're not
always
sure.
wondered how his name is pronounced because
Yeah. So we have Enzo to the left in 4-3-3, right? Yep. Enzo, let's do it like this. hmm Enzo to the left, Caicedo to his right of Lavia. So Ty, give me your two center backs. We'll still use that uh, on the left side.
this is concerning now because on the left
It's
you
not
have
it's
so
not
many
that simple. Assumin Badiashile is fit, and
yeah,
I like him.
yeah.
honestly, his intelligence, football and intelligence marvels me. But go ahead. And Joe, you can say Colwell is equally good. That's it. So we're
Yeah,
loaded in that
that's
area.
my problem.
Yeah.
That's the problem because, and well, for me, I'm going to say Badiashile because, and this is just because I think he's calmer on the ball than Cole. Cole is good on the ball, and he is able to make passes, and he does have the ability to find space in small areas. But I think in terms of calmness, coolness, and being able to dribble with the ball at his feet, I think um Badiashile just edges it for me in terms of being a better ball playing defender. And that isn't to say that Levi Cole probably isn't equally good.
Mhm.
But based on what I've seen of him at Brighton and when he was at Huddersfield, I think he's more of that player he's good on the ball, he's able to find those areas, but Badiashile edges it because he's able to dribble with the ball at his feet, he's able to make those passes as well, he's able to find space equally as well as Levi Cole. So I think Badiashile in terms of the strongest 11. I think Badiashile is better because he's able to bring the ball back equally good as well. So I think just because of those factors, for me at least, I think Badiashile it is it over Levi Cole. That's just me. It's difficult to choose. You have to be choosing those small attributes to decide. But I think Badiashile is a better option.
But let's say now the strongest. If we're saying the strongest, the master will be there, Silva will be there. So maybe we'll use vote, so that people in the chat can speak their mind on who pairs a Silva. Here, I think so far Gusto is leading them by 59%, and it's 29 votes. That's not bad. We're not saying Reece James is a bad player, but availability. How does Monster FC say that? Availability is what? Um, there's a term he uses, but he has to be available to be part of the strongest 11, in my opinion. Coach, even if we went for Tonelli, we would have spent 75 to 80 million, and he's miles ahead of Caicedo. Wow, that's some argument there, but it's Caicedo bears a lesser risk, and we want a more defensively solid player, and in that we have Caicedo, in my opinion. You could say that, but he is the one who signals to Poch that and he was tired at 70 minutes. Yeah, something like that. But I'd argue he probably sensed the discomfort from the injury he's suffering now, but didn't want to say he's injured because it has happened too many times. Players sometimes can do that. Disasi plays well as a DM. Him and Badiashile are all very technical pair. Mark Neum, wow. Yeah, he has some good passes in him too, and I like that. Gallagher is a great player. Why sell him? We're not talking about that, and I'm not too sure the club wants to sell Gallagher right now. And Enzo should be in the center and more advanced to have a better vision. If he's going to be in the center, then which means he'll be charged to be more disciplined than the other two guys. So anybody central here will be the one that will be mopping up behind the two that are flanking him, if that makes sense. These two, the Enzo here has the independence to be more adventurous on the pitch. Here, Caicedo has the independence to be more adventurous in the pitch. But here, once you're here, your job will be to mop up again, you can say to clean up whatever this guy's to ensure you can say we don't find, you can say we don't opposition teams don't beat us on the counter. And when that's the case, which means you'll be more disciplined than these two guys. So Enzo shouldn't be central. But I get you with the point you're making there. I know he has more vision. He can also do that on the left hand side. But if you can't eat your cake and have it. If we play with a 3-man midfield and his central, then he has to be disciplined. If that makes sense. I'm open to being proven wrong, but it seems that the acquisition of Lavia has led to a preference for the 4-3-3 formation. Yeah, if you're trying to accommodate them three, that's the easiest way to accommodate the three of them. I believe that 4-2-3-1 setup aligns better with Poch's tactical approach, but he's showing you that he's willing to mix it up to get good results. So, in my opinion, let's see what happens. We're here, we're learning, and here emphasizing active wingers in advanced positions. So, looking ahead, I envision Lavia and Caicedo taking on roles in the central midfield door, which while Enzo assumes a more advanced position on the field, that may well happen. We may well see him playing the 10th position in a 4-2-3-1 structure. We still have Fofana coming back from injury. We are loaded, in the defensive area. So let's see. Or what was it? I was going to do something here. I just can't quite remember. So, yeah, I think I'm gonna 37 votes. Ty, don't you think that's okay? 37 votes with 57% thinking Gusto should start over Reece James in our strongest 11,
Yeah,
and I agree. Not just
yeah,
because, not just that's not me arguing that Gusto is a better player, because you have to stay fit to make the strongest 11, in my opinion. So I'm gonna go with Gusto there
yeah,
until
and
James proves otherwise. Go ahead.
yeah, and also when you look at all the attributes of Gusto, not to say that he's better than James, but he is the better option not only for the injury aspect, but based on how long he can survive on the pitch in terms of not being draining easier. He's quicker as well. That's another thing. He's more aggressive. He's good aerially as well. And not easy to say that James is good aerially, but when it comes on to aerial ability, you do have Gusto who is better in that skill set. So I think in terms of all those attributes, Gusto would still edge it over James, and he's younger as well. So there's more of a longevity there. And in the case of James, and like we already said, James's statistics or record of the amount of games he's missed, it isn't good, and not you can't rely on a player like that because you're gonna keep wondering, can I risk him surviving less than 60 minutes or 50 minutes or 70 minutes, and then in training he gets injured? I think it has to do with rehabilitation and him getting that time to rest, because it really is concerning. But I think Gusto would obviously make it in the strongest level because he is more of a player that you can be assured that he will survive longer and he won't be getting injured easily, as in the case of James for the last 3 years.
Yeah, I do agree with you. So it's common sense, really. You cannot a player that has for 3 seasons in a row, every time he gets injured. Last season was how many times, and this season already how many times already? Like 3 times already. Even before the season began, he was injured. He was injured before World Cup, and it's I don't think I'd pick him as in the strongest 11. Because he hardly stays fit. But that's, by the way, as you're watching, keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. I appreciate you all finding the time to join. 20 more likes to get it to 100. Let's make it happen. So, Ty, left wing and right wing. What do you think?
Oh my lord, this is so.
Yeah, for me, for on the left, I'll pick Mudryk as our strongest 11. He's shown he has it, and it's combined well with probably the guy we will most likely pick for the number 9 position.
Yeah, 100%. I think Mudryk is probably the better option. I mean, he's gaining confidence. He's even showing in the media that he's showing confidence. He's saying about people struggling their first season, but the next season is when they start to show their worth. And I think Mudryk is getting confident. He's quick. He's a player that you'd love to have on that left side. So I think Mudryk is probably the best option in the strongest 11. And like you said, link up play is very good, and he's always been good at linking up play. I think he just needs to adapt to the league. Last season and he struggled. But when you look at the attributes, and if you look at the reason why Arsenal wanted him, even though they'll say that they didn't want him as much, is because they use this sort of tactic where you need to link up play, little 1-2 touches here, running and everything. So in terms of that, Mudryk is the best option for the left side because you need that link up play. And no matter who the number 9 is, even though we think we already have an idea of who that will be, you do need to have someone that is good at link up play, who's good at predicting the next move and has good anticipation. So I think Mudryk is the best option on that left. But it's a very difficult decision to make considering the attacking options we have.
Yeah, I think to me it's Mudryk, but we'll still ask the chat. I think people will still pick him. Mudryk, in my opinion, Starling can be tried on the 10th position to accommodate Mudryk. Lavia dropped a 4-2-1-3 for me. it makes sense. Angori, I hope you're doing. I think that's Angori. I think that's how you pronounce that. And hey to you too, VJ. I hope you're doing well. I appreciate you finding the time to join it this morning. If you're watching, if you haven't, click the three dots at the VJ's name. Go subscribe to his channel. Believe me, you will thank me later. And VJ, if you don't mind, please do share the link to your channel so people can go check it out. I appreciate that. Mudryk, please. I so much like this guy. His speed, his touch. He's a good footballer. I know probably has taken a while for him to start showing signs of what he's capable of doing. But better late than never. That's a civil chat. Don't abuse or swear. You cannot talk like everyone else. Thank you so much for saying that. And good afternoon, coach. And how are you doing? I can't complain. Kingsley Chinawes, and one day I appreciate you joining. I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for finding the time to join the show. I think Mudryk for me, the left wing, a 4-2-1-3, not bad. Not bad. A flood in the attacking area. Flooding. Yeah, not bad at all, honestly. Maybe Portugal will do that. Just switch it up a bit. That's 4-2-3-1 inverted. You can say in the attacking area. I think that could work. Someone said that Chelsea have interest on Maatsen and Gajen striker Georgie's Mykhailo. Okay, I haven't heard the name before.
I've never heard of such a player.
Sorry?
I've never heard of that player.
Yeah, so our scouts, maybe they're sniffing out players. Yeah, go ahead, Ty.
Yeah, oh, wow. Oh, wow, okay. Yeah, I just looked him up. Okay, yeah, he's 22. And he's plays, he plays for Lyon.
He's not like one of those 16-year-olds.
Oh, no, he doesn't play for Lyon. He was born in Lyon. Okay, he's French. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yes, people, keep dropping the likes on the stream. People, the likes do go a long way. I appreciate you. Oh, go ahead, Ty, if you were saying something.
Yeah, I'm seeing I'm seeing what people were saying in the chat about Chilwell and all the other options there. It's kind of interesting though, because right now we have to go with what we know, and right now we have to go with the strongest options. And to be honest, I think Chilwell is the best option for what we have right now. And this one like to Roger Wilder.
Yeah, I'm sure if I use a poll, I'm sure people will select Mudryk. If we pay him, especially with Starling, who else are we going to pay him there with? Chimera says Mudryk is a big question mark for me. I hope he balls this season. And thank you for giving him a chance. And I've done that, brother. Much love to you. Once more again, here's the link to Tytalk's YouTube channel. Please be sure to go check it out. Subscribe to his channel and let him know I sent you. Let's help him get to 1,000 subscribers as soon as possible. He has lots of... How many?
13 away, man.
13 more to get to 1,000 subscribers. We can do that for him. And plus, he has lots of profile videos for our new signings. If you don't know our new signings that much, if you watch if you go watch any of his profile videos, you get to know the players better than you did before you watch the videos. Some YouTubers were saying that Reece James wasn't available for almost 80 games since he joined Chelsea. I don't doubt that. If they're saying 40% of all of his overall of the overall games he's played since he's emerged as a senior player were at Wigan, then that's concerning. It means 20 games per season on average. That's concerning, as good as he is. Yeah. Someone said Chelsea have interest. I think you will have that. Yeah, and I don't know those names, honestly. I have to be honest with you. Marc and Neon playing Chilwell behind any of these wingers would be negative football. But let's see what the manager does. I think he's the best right now. If you want him, a player there that will. But but in a 4-3, you can say in a 4-3-3 structure, I don't think it would be a problem for them. Because then it would be Enzo and Mudryk rather than Chilwell. But I get it, he overlaps probably or joins the attack in some occasions. Abdullahi Jafta, looking forward to see this Chelsea team beat every team in the Premier League. I hope we're able to do that. And Martin Caicedo on the left and Enzo on the right. Really? I think we took our time. Enzo will be more effective on the left for me. And Caicedo, who's played right back before, can be effective in helping you can say supporting Gusto there, in my opinion. But maybe you would have to come and explain what you mean by that. No other channel is necessary when we have the coach his coffee and the Serena Blue Morning room. Please forgive me, but I cannot help but express my deep appreciation. Well, you should be on the panel. You know that already. I know you're saying training, training. I'm quite sure you can do without training. You've proven you can do that. Enzo is not helpful without the ball playing or Chilwell. There will be a difficult. It will be a difficult game. But we're not talking about tomorrow's game. We're talking about the best 11, strongest 11 for the season. And yeah, nothing for right wing. So let's see. I'm going to look at it. Ty, it looks like a Colwill is running away with Silva pairing. Who pairs the Silva? Yeah, 73% thinks it will be Levi Colwill. And that's
I'm not
out of
surprised.
33 votes. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Yeah, people
But
think like that.
I'm still sick with Badiashile. I still go with Badiashile, but I
I would pick
understand why.
Badiashile over him, but one
Yeah.
thing I haven't taken my time to think about is that can they actually play together? That's one thing. Yeah, because they each play predominantly on the left hand side.
Yeah.
So that begs the question: can they play together? And if they cannot play together, then we have a problem there. We'd have one of them wanting to leave the club. Yeah, by the time the season ends. But let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna stop this one. Who pairs a Silva? 74%. I think out of 34 votes. That's a good enough sample size. So yeah, let's say Colwill here. Let's see how that goes. And strongest 11 for me, I would have gone. You can say for me, I think Badiashile is better really, in my opinion. So we have the four back done. Then right hand side, Mudryk for me. But Ty, you go ahead, you speak. I'll get those in the chat to participate.
Yeah, the strongest 11, I think Mudryk is it. Sterling right now, obviously, because he's the
He
only one
looks
that's
lost.
really yeah. I mean, Sterling did okay. He wasn't the greatest against Liverpool, but he was linking up well with James and everything, which was something I was expecting when he signed last season. I was saying him and James probably would link up well. They know each other
Mm.
from the England national team as well, so that really surprised him. But I think in terms of Madueke, long term, you'd think he is that option. His ability to dribble, his ability to link up as well, and what he's able to do. I think he's the better option to choose out of the most two obvious options you'd think, which is Sterling and Madueke. I think Madueke is the one that you think of in terms of the strongest 11, and he's gonna be available for West Ham as well. So if you can make that decision pretty soon, I would think to see which one
He
is
brings
the best
something
option.
different to the table.
Yeah, and he
Like you
surprised me
just
because
everything you explained. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, he surprised me as well because usually players who play in the Dutch league they do have a problem with adjusting. And when he joined earlier this year, he wasn't really like that. It wasn't a case where he was struggling really. It was more like he looked raw. His decision making was probably a bit shaky, but in terms of what he brings to the table, he's a player that he has great potential. It's simple stuff.
Mhm. Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Let's see. Yeah, 917 subs. That's not easy. So over the moon, you're getting there. Let's see what else we have here. Disasi, Badiashile, Colwill, might have three at the back, marking Noom. Let's see what the manager does. Balogun as backup striker for Jackson would be perfect. It will still allow Broya to flourish. We don't need a big ego, a big wages, Vlahovic. Wow, some argument right there. Let's see, when will Microsoft release an update to ChatGPT with voice capability? What are you driving at, man? Jackson is a striker. Yeah. I like it. I like it that Jersey now, yeah, he's playing along with the joke, and that's good to see. Appreciate you. Says, bro, you still want a back three? It's not funny. The manager did it. I think he will still do it again. If he feels like that will be the most effective structure against certain oppositions, he'd do it. It's not just me. Do I like a back three? I can explain to you why I like it. It depends on the manager. Some manager play with the back three where some people interpret it as a back five. Uh, but on the Thomas Tuchel, the likes of Tuchel, it's truly a back three because he plays wingers in the wing back positions, which to me, that's how I see it. Excuse me. But that's, by the way, 30 more likes to get it to 100. Let's make it happen. So let me check this one. Mudryk wins 20 votes, and he has 85% of the votes. Sterling got 5% of the votes, and Maatsen got 10%. Even Maatsen now, again, according to the fans, yeah, Maatsen, it's ahead of Sterling in the pecking order. Yeah, that's concerning, really. Even if I leave it more, I think it wouldn't change anything different there. Let's see what else we have here. I can see Jackson playing behind the striker when Ivan Toney comes to us. I honestly, for reasons I've said, I've discussed 1,000 times, I honestly do not want us to sign Ivan Toney. A player, you could say, even if he was an addict, if I don't know if he still wanna, if he's overcome that, you can say, if he's overcome the gambling addiction. But here's the thing: a player that went to the extent of betting against his own team, that's concerning to me. But if the club wants to give him a second chance, I don't mind. I can't change it. I can't get them to do otherwise. But that's, by the way, number 9, certainly. Yeah, Jackson. We don't have too many options there. Let's see. Yep, Jackson for me. And yeah, it gets worse. 26 votes right now. And Mudryk has 88% of the votes. Maatsen 8%, and yeah, Sterling down the pecking order for the forward. So I'm gonna end that one. Yeah, I'm gonna end it quickly. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. 11 more likes to get it to 100. Let's make it happen. Ivan Toney, honestly, I do not want him at my club. Yeah, Ty, I think this is not a bad lineup either. Honestly, we have good defensive lineup. We have leadership. We have Levi Colwill, who can also break the line with some delicious passes, even in the defensive area. Because yeah, I think this guy has some excellent passes in him. Chilwell is the only, for me, as Nigerians would say, is the only guy that has a comma here. Chilwell, no. His ball progression, I think he needs space to do well. I get it. He's an intelligent footballer, can make good runs, but in most cases, he needs lots of spaces for him to be able to progress the ball. Whenever there isn't enough space, he opts for several options, passing the ball sideways or going backwards. I don't like that. I think I think we need to upgrade that area. Maybe later on, we'll probably keep him for a while because of his experience, but I think we can do better than Chilwell and Cucurella, in my opinion. And I have my preference of the two players I'm not going to talk about now. Cucurella, I like him so much, but that weakness of him leaving lots of spaces and behind, I'm not sure why he does that, as if he still plays in the
and in the fashion he does it too. Like it's always the same type of moment. He turns sideways, and I don't know. It's just weird.
So I'm not sure why. I'm not sure why he does that. It's concerning to me, and teams know that, and teams always push for exploit that. As you can see, and Reece says Pochettino holds a stronger ethical principles. Therefore, he might hesitate to bring in someone associated with gambling. You could argue that. So that's a delicious comment, actually, of the day. He's very superstitious too, I've heard. Katila, I think Poch starts Sterling again. That's a chance it happens because of his experience. But this is not tomorrow's lineup. This is us, the fans, saying this is what we believe is the strongest lineup. And if you were listening, we left Reece James out, and we used a vote, actually, a poll, and those in the chat picked Gusto over Chilwell. And the argument we made on the panel is this: you cannot be part of the strongest 11 if he hardly stays fit. To be honest, I don't think it's fair to include Noni, given he hasn't played for the new coach. Yes, then we're talking about the strongest 11, given what we have. Honestly, for me, Noni will be more effective than Sterling, because Sterling these days cannot beat his man. And we need that, especially when you play against a low block.
Can I say something, though?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Ty.
Lisa Martin owes logic that We should not be using Lavia or Caicedo either, because he hasn't played for
Yeah,
Pochettino
if we're
yet.
going by
He
that
haven't
logic,
played for
yeah.
them. Yeah,
Yeah, so I
even
agree
then he
with you,
haven't
Ty.
played for them.
Yep. 10 more likes to get it to 100. Let's see what else we have here. No Ivan Turner for Chelsea, please. Yeah, I agree with you. Mohammed Hanif, nice to see you, brother. I hope you're doing well. If Starling was injured, we would have assumed the same thing, but still, yeah. But to me, Martin, honestly, I strongly believe that Mudryk will be more effective than Starling. The 3% of you that voted to play Starling on left wing, come out now. We need to have a conversation. I think I agree with you. Where's Amanda Broya? Amanda Broya you cannot count him as one of our strongest 11. Right now, I get it. He's a talent. You can argue he's the unknown. Kotila, here's a thought. Since CFC are looking for a right side attacking player, and since a Poch wants 22 players, ideally, okay, a two for every position, who is in firing line? Starling or Mudryk? I would say Starling, really. I would say Sterling. Poch likes to work with young players, and Poch even said that he said something to the effect of Mudryk improving a lot. Fabrizio Romano tweeted that João Felix has been left out of the squad. We should put in a bid. The present squad is perfect for him. Rumors are that he's gonna buy out his contract, or they will find a common ground and terminate his contract because he doesn't want to play for
Plus,
them
he wants to
anymore.
go to Barcelona.
Yeah, do I think, yeah, exactly. He wants to go to Barcelona. He was open about that. Do I think we should go for him? I'd say no. Because his salary, do I think we will go for him, so to speak? I would say no, because his salary will be a problem. Shakespeare would have looked so much better with blue accessories. Just go away, man. So let's bring you in, VJ. I appreciate you finding the time to join. You look ready. You look ready. I don't think I've seen this microphone for. Was that the one you've been using before?
Yeah, the same one.
Okay, maybe not placed the same way. Was it? I'm not too
Right, the
sure.
position is different now.
Okay.
I've been sitting in a different place.
Okay,
So.
I appreciate you finding the time to join, brother. That means a lot to us. So you've seen the lineup we picked for 4-3-3. What do you make of an argument that Reece James shouldn't be part of the strongest 11 because he hardly stays fit? You have the floor. You go ahead, shoot for it.
Fair enough. Thank you so much, first of all, for having me in. It's a pleasure to join here, Coach, as lively as always. So
Appreciate you.
I've been listening to the the conversation. My only concern would be to have all three of them on the midfield every single game, right? Like we know our strongest three midfielders is
Mhm,
Enzo, Lavia, and Caicedo. I know this is a different manager, but
mhm.
then for them to field all three managers in every single game would still be a bit of challenge. I know that we don't have European competitions, and we have one game a week, but still, three of our strongest midfield playing every single game. I still see a problem there. Maybe we still go with a double pivot and have someone come in to inject that pace or inject that difference in the second half. So I'd probably go with 4-2-3-1, where we have
Mhm.
Enzo and Caicedo playing at the start, and then we slowly move to Lavia in the second half. And Gallagher, bringing those people in. I would not necessarily have all three in every single game, if you know what I mean. Um, that's one thing. And apart from that, I do agree to the fact that as much as I love Reece James to be playing week in and week out for us,
Mhm.
I think he is right now not in that spot where you could rely on him to give, even if it is 4 matches a week, sorry, 4 matches a month. I think we'd still have a problem with Reece James. I think it's catching up to him. The injury is catching up to him. He might be possibly out for 4 to 5 weeks, as informed by Pochettino. He did not give the exact weeks, but I'm assuming that it should be 4 to 5, not more than that, given how he spoke about the seriousness of the issue. And it's not going to be just one instance, right? We've seen Reece James miss out on a sequence of games in the past as well. What is to say it won't repeat again in the season? So I feel maybe we would it's better to go with Gusto. I think Gusto would be playing, though we like it or not, for most of the games in the season. Towards the end of the season, if you look at how many games Gusto has played and how many Reece has played, maybe Reece has played lesser games, but could have had huge impact. I'm not going to deny that. But Gusto would have played more number of games than Reece is what I'm speculating at this point in time. Jackson, good selection. Obviously, the front three, you spot on. Mudryk, I think it was Coolest Chels who was talking about certain players coming good in the second half of the season. I think that is the adaptation time that we're talking about. Not everyone is going to be, kicking the ball running. So it's kind of going to take some time. I think Mudryk has started looking more confident from the preseason games as well. If you've seen him, maybe in the first half, in the first game, he did not get much game time, but still he looked all right. Having said that, I think Mudryk is probably going to seal that spot out there. And who's the other one that you've mentioned there on the front three? Sterling, or was it?
The right hand side, Mudryk.
Mudryk, yeah, that's a
right
good selection. That's a good selection as well. Mudryk, I know he's got injury concerns in the past. It's I wouldn't go as far as saying he might be on and off like Reece, but still we'd have we might need someone to fill that spot. Maybe Sterling and Mudryk alternate there. But I'm not sure if you guys saw that recent post from Chelsea with Mudryk running for the ball. I think he was wearing a sleeveless, and he looked fit. He looked super fit.
Yeah.
Right.
Here's something else I wanted to ask you. Plus, beyond his pace, and I think he brings something different. Raheem Sterling these days can't even beat his man, and this guy can, which means he'll be very effective when you play against teams that defend deep. Your preference between Colwill and Badiashile, and why?
It's a tough one, isn't it? Colwill and Badiashile. Badiashile, the way that he came into our team, we didn't have high expectations. Let's be real about it. We didn't have high expectations for Badiashile. We thought he's going to just fill the spot. We even thought he might be loaned out at some point. But he did amazingly well for Chelsea in the games that he played. I would go so far as to say that he's not put a foot wrong for Chelsea in the past. So Badiashile definitely is going to be in contention with Colwill this season. Colwill, an academy grad, would still have the entire Chelsea fan base behind him to support him.
Yeah,
but that doesn't.
Yes, you can say support driven by sentiment, or maybe just
right.
the fact that he's an academy product. But go ahead.
Exactly, but that doesn't really negate the fact that Badiashile has been superb for Chelsea as well. So that's going to be an interesting, selection headache for Pochettino, if I can put it that way. It really comes down to who is going to hold the nerves during clutch moments. I think we would see that soon once Badiashile gets fit. I think the first 2 months would be a decider for both of these players in the way that where is Pochettino's trust going to be. But I still think Colwill will still have a slight edge because Badiashile is coming out of an injury. He needs to prove himself to come to the first team.
Yeah, and if Colwill is doing well, then there will be no need for Badiashile to come in, except if the manager decides to rest him and rotate. But we don't have European assignments this season, so yeah, it's going to be tight in terms of game time for players where we have numbers. Right. But go ahead with what you were saying.
No, absolutely, you're spot on. We don't have European football, so we cannot realistically keep a lot of players happy in the squad if we end up having a broader squad. That's the whole reason why Chelsea wanted to trim down the squad, and that we have the new loan regulations, which doesn't allow us to loan more than 7 players. So we are in a tight spot because Chelsea predominantly operates with a loan army, which generates a good revenue, into the club, which is not going to be the case going forward. I think the FA regulations is not going to help us in that way. But coming back to this point, Colwill will still have the edge. If you ask me who, in simple terms, I think Colwill still will have the edge. as long as he stays fit and he's able to hold the nerve as much as what we as Chelsea fans would want to, and we'd still give him a long rope, right? That's what an academy product gets with Chelsea. We've got that sentiment. With Mason, we had that long rope. With Reece, we still have that long rope. I know if it was for a different player, like if it was not Reece James, an academy grad, I think we would have had a different conversation about Reece James at this point in time. But we like him. He's from our academy. He's been with the academy for a long time. And those things come as a positive. So sentimentally, I think we would give him a long rope.
But unfortunately, if you're paying attention, people are starting to give up. Even some of his staunches, because his supporters are saying, you know what, I'm tired of James, of this happening. You get it? Because at one point, people, I love him so much, and I know what he can bring. That's what my argument isn't that Gusto is better, but you have to consider the fact that talent statistic that came out yesterday, 40% of all his appearances since he emerged as a senior player were at Wigan. That's talent, and a lot of people were going, "Wait, what?" And it seems we haven't even played 10 games. You can say 3 games into the season, he's been injured 2 times. During preseason, he was out injured. We came back. We said he was tired, I still think that was him just saying, telling the manager he was tired. He just didn't want to tell the manager he's sensing something is wrong, because he already knows it has happened too many times, in my opinion. But I appreciate you. I like listening to you talk football. I have to be honest with you. I wish you could have more time, or maybe host your own shows, and I'll be part of it. I will enjoy having talking Chelsea with you. Sorry?
I agree with you 100%. Everything that he said, I'm like, yes, this is factual, and especially with the whole Lavia thing. Because now you think about you, if Pochettino does go with this 4-2-3-1, what you could usually see is him doing some strategic work of perhaps Lavia doesn't start, but he comes on in the second half, and you never know, he takes off one of the attacking midfielders or plays who plays an attacking midfielder, and you have Lavia coming in just to help. For example, if you're leading a game and you bring him on to facilitate that, and as time goes on, you may see Lavia be introduced as a more key player, or being integrated
Control the
in that.
midfield.
Yeah, so perhaps that's one of the situations that you may see.
But we could also just to save face, but the argument makes perfect sense, and it's a tight. I could just say, you know what, we're just saying it's the strongest 11, but it wouldn't be happening all the time. But I think he made an excellent argument as to why that will not always be the case. But sometimes we may well see it happen. It depends on who we're playing against. Trevoh, if you're there, do you agree with VJ's argument? I get it. That will not happen. Let's be truthful here. We'll never see a situation where we see 3 of them week in, week out. We have other midfielders. Although I'm not too sure whether Lesley Ugochukwu stays or whether Santos stays. It's hard to say. But I think we need 2. If we're going to be playing with 4-3-3, we need two players each for the central guy, for the guy on the right, the guy on the left, for each of those positions. But do you agree that we shouldn't be, that it's a risk? It's more like you can say putting the whole egg in a single basket. I think I agree. That's a better way to see it. What do you think? Do you agree we shouldn't be doing that, playing the 3 of them at the same time?
Yeah, I agree with VJ, and also big up to VJ. And another thing,
I was thinking, you said, Coach, I understand what you're saying. Just start with that and be nice to me. Just go.
And I just want to point another thing. If I was Pochettino, I was gonna stick to 4-2-3-1 formation and just change personnel in terms of finding a player that can fit into this system, because as a coach, it's not useful to change formations each and every games. So just play 4-2-3-1. That Mrs. Caicedo already know very well. He played that formation at Brighton. Enzo played it at, for example, at Benfica. So I think it's a perfect fit for them. And then in terms of attack, that's Pochettino's problem. Whether he plays Stanley, Mudryk, Noni, Kalaga, Chakabeka, I don't know. It's up to him. But 4-2-3-1, I think he should stick to that formation.
I don't think he should stick to a single formation. I think he should be able to mix it up. You can argue that Liverpool were actually startled. I think they didn't expect it to play with that structure. Even though it was a shaky start, but once we grew into the game, it was effective. And I have to be honest, I still can't quite, you can say, figure out how he mixed up. It was a hybrid approach, but it was unorthodox to say the least, in my opinion. But honestly, Trevoh, I disagree with you. I think he should mix it up. He should be able to be unpredictable, and that will go a long way for us. But that's, by the way, let me get a few of what we have in the chat, and I'll come back to hear Bobby's thoughts on the lineup. We're picking the strongest 11, and if he has any question as to why we picked any particular player, I will explain. Al Nassr, from the looks of it, their lineup need a right wing. Sterling fits that profile. Mane, Ronaldo, Sterling. Imagine that. Imagine the fee we will bring in. Yeah. And plus, I hope that what the rumors are, rumors that suggested that was it Al Nassr looking to sign Mohamed Salah from Liverpool, and if they fail to do that, they will come for Raheem Sterling. I hope that happens, really. You guys think Lavia will start? No, this is not tomorrow's lineup. We will do tomorrow's lineup during the Blue Morning Show tomorrow. This is just the strongest 11 for the entirety of the season. Let's see. He's gonna do the double pivot. He played a 4-2-3-1 all preseason. Maybe he may well do that. Adrian Parker, nice to see you. Sterling must be sold. I think a lot of people think that, but it's not that simple. Where I believe that he will contribute better than he does at this moment at Chelsea Football Club. Yeah, he hasn't performed well for us. Ajax wants more than 15 million for Kudus. Wow, that's a lot. The market is crazy. Both Caicedo and Lavia are unlikely to be in the starting lineup. Yeah, but we're not talking about tomorrow's lineup. Tomorrow's lineup, Caicedo, that prolonged transfer saga can be mentally draining, honestly. As Pochettino emphasized the importance of a gradual integration process to ensure their fitness, but we're not saying they're starting tomorrow. This is the strongest lineup for the entirety of the season. We're not saying it's tomorrow. Tomorrow's lineup will take care of that during the Blue Morning Show tomorrow. However, he hinted at their potential involvement, maybe 10-15 minutes. And if anybody is going to start, it will be Caicedo. But even at that, I doubt that. It's conceivable that Caicedo might make his debut as a substitute or potentially feature in the game at the bridge next week, maybe. Let's see what else we have here. It's possible that Poch puts Caicedo as DM, Enzo and Gallagher. Okay, let's see if he does that tomorrow. And Dara Agumo channel. Okay, I'm not sure what language that is. Apologies. I respect you joining, but I can't read that. Who's Mudryk? Google it. Okay. Being the captain, Reece James will secure his spot as a guaranteed starter, barring any unforeseen. But that's not the argument here. The argument is the strongest 11. You have to be fit, and the talent statistic we talked about is concerning, really. He shouldn't be making the strongest 11 lineup if he can't stay fit. Bench Mudryk Caicedo should be the 6. Lavia is a more offensive player. He has more to his game. That's how I see it. But he's told you he sees his job as the person to protect the defensive line, and you don't want to change that. And if you want to play at the back, Lavia is the man. Of all the players we have right now, he knows how to beat the press effectively. Wisu, nice to see you. Remember, Badiashile and Disasi was partners at Monaco. We're partners at Monaco. Maybe that will happen at Chelsea. We do not know. Badiashile also played a right centre back, so maybe he has a chance. He still has a place, even if the left centre back is occupied by what's his name Levi Colwill. The notion that two left-footed centre backs can not play together is a myth. Right-footed, yeah, it doesn't matter really. Yeah, right-footed players do it all the time. A left-footed player can play anywhere. Yeah, I agree with you. I think Gallagher will play ahead of Lavia for this one. We're not talking about the game tomorrow. So what are the fans saying about Reece James? I didn't hear that. The argument is, if we're talking about the strongest 11, then he shouldn't be there because he happily stays fit until proven otherwise. And we used the poll in the chat, and the gap it wasn't even close. The Gusto beat him hands down. Good morning to you too, a lot of people. Mesola, I appreciate you joining. Let's see anything else to address here. Otherwise, I'm going to scroll past everything. Colwill has excellent passing range. Yep, I agree with you. Colwill status as an academy graduate, aside his potential to ascend to the upper echelons of football is evident. His recent impressive months at Brighton and notable European performances. Okay, thank you for that. Let's see. Notably, his high growth is, you can say, accentuated by his adeptness in take it easy with these big words, please. Delivering long
reminds me of the
passes
days. Reminds me of the days when I prepared for my IELTS exam.
And exhibiting a visionary approach, qualities that align seamlessly with the attributes sought after in Portuguese player. You should get onto the panel, man. I'm not going to read any of your comments again. He will start Starling, and I agree. He should stick with the 4-2-3-1 structure. I want him to mix it up. He will rotate players in order to keep them sharp. Yep, I agree with you. Big up, Cucurella. Big up to you too. But we're not talking about tomorrow's lineup. Tomorrow's lineup, we'll take care of that during the Blue Morning Show. I was interested to hear fans are now talking about Reece James. It won't take long until fans want him sold. Some are already saying that. Cucurella, Starling should be sold to fund Kudus. Selling Starling isn't easy. More importantly, if you've been paying attention, Chelsea are now the best placed team to sign the 18-year-old Real Valladolid. I can't say that name right back. Okay,
Valladolid.
Okay, yeah. Ivan Fresneda. Wow, some names here. Cucurella, why do you think Chelsea aren't favoring Kudus? I don't know. Maybe we're still interested in signing him. Lavia should not start tomorrow. This is not tomorrow's lineup. That's what happens when you come late. Gallagher deserves some respect at least. We're talking about the strongest 11 for the season. As I mentioned, Poch said predominantly deeply 4-2-3-1. Let's see if that happens. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. I'm going to scroll to the very bottom and see. Again, I really hate to say this, but Starling will start over Maatsen, unfortunately. Tomorrow, maybe, we'll see that happen tomorrow. But we're picking the strongest 11 of the season. Carney plays. He's the only advanced 8 or 10 in the team right now. That's a solid argument. And Kunku is played on the left. Lavia not in. And we actually picked the strongest 11 of the season and no Kunku there. That's it. That's interesting. Wow. Let's see. Again, who's better, Lavia or Carney? I think they're different, first of all, before we get into that argument. But Tobe, nice to see you. I appreciate you. So I'm going to go to the very bottom. Let me start with you. Bobby. This lineup here now, Ashumin, Nkunku can play on the flanks. So which means we can actually fix Nkunku here. If we're talking about the strongest 11, then Nkunku should be here. I know it's easy. It was easy to not. It was easy. Yeah, go ahead, Bobby.
You're going to have to read out the lineup that you put there.
Okay, not just me. We worked with everybody, but I think Nkunku goes where Mudryk is. We have a 4-3-3 structure because the main aim of the lineup is to accommodate Enzo, Lavia, and Caicedo. So in a three-man midfield, we have Lavia.
I wouldn't use the word accommodate. There are players that are there for their function. It's to utilize them.
Yeah, to start the three of them at the same time. Is that language better? Okay, now we place Lavia centrally because of his ability to beat the press. Right hand side, Caicedo. To his left, Enzo. And then the back four is Chilwell, left back. 2 center backs, Colwill and Silva, right back, Gusto. The argument why we chose Gusto over Reece James is because Reece James he hardly stays fit, and you cannot make the strongest 11.
We're not sure we're even going to see him this season. So
exactly, you cannot make the strongest 11 if he cannot stay fit. That's the argument. So now, where we have a problem, probably because he was injured, and because he hasn't played that much and is out. I think I would say I would put up a poll again. I think I think what's his name? I think oh gosh, I think Nkunku should come in for Mudryk for saying the strongest 11. In my opinion, the 4-3-3 structure. But you go ahead. You heard the names I mentioned.
Yeah, I agree. And of course, goalkeeper Sanchez, Jackson striker. I can't argue with that.
Right.
That is the strongest 11.
That is the strongest, but we have to find a way to. Nkunku has to be there. Let me come back to you, VJ. What do you think? Mudryk has to make way for Nkunku.
Yeah, probably the 6 months downtime for Nkunku is what ran in our minds when we selected this. But yeah, you're spot on. Nkunku probably should be there in there. I think the 4-2-3-1 will facilitate him better that way. Like you mentioned, we probably won't stick to the same formation. We kind of would be switching it up. And I think it's also become a game of 25 minutes, right? Like imagine this, 25-30 minutes. If you do not look at football as game of halves, like 45, the 5 substitutes that we right now have allows you to look at the game as a game of 30, right? Not 45, 30, right? So you have the first 30 minutes. You need the first 30 minutes with blitzkrieg wingers out there. And maybe the second 35 or 30 odd minutes is about control. Yeah, I'm giving these numbers randomly, right? The 30 numbers. But then the third half, you'd still want different set of players who brings new energy and probably a system itself to facilitate the situation at that point in time, right? So maybe the 60 to 90 that you'd have is more of reacting to how the game has been in the first 60 minutes. And you'd want options for people to react during that situation. Like, let's say a good example could be maybe we need 2 strikers up front against a low block team, right? If that's the case, then after 60 minutes, we probably have Broja coming in, right? But Broja would probably not start with Jackson. But after 60, depending on how the game progresses, now we make that change. That is what I think the 5 substitution rule that was introduced the previous year has allowed teams to do. Now, every team wants to go for a broader squad. A broader squad means different options, right? Not one formation, different options. And now players are being looked at as not people who would be, playing for 90 minutes. But even if they give a 60, but they give their best 60, that's still fine, right? And they could do it week after week because now the squad size and the 5 substitution rule can facilitate them to do that, right? Now it's just about how intelligently a manager can utilize them in a formation, in a system.
Can I just add to this?
Yeah.
Can I just add to this that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Nowadays, especially with a club like Chelsea that is building and still has about 3 more players to come in, to call the strongest squad for the season, I think the season will need to be divided into 2, before and after Christmas. Because the strongest squad with which we will finish the season may look very different to the strongest squad with which we are starting the season. Vis-a-vis maybe the return of the likes of a fit James, maybe an additional striker or an additional forward, maybe Kudus might be involved. So there is going to be some change. So what we think is the strongest squad now may still evolve into something slightly different. And as you've mentioned, we're already discussing whether we should put Madueke or Nkunku. Well,
or maybe we should just go. Yeah, given that point, Bobby, we should just go with the strongest 11 now. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. For now, it will have to be Madueke because we're not
Madueke,
really seeing Nkunku till January.
Yeah, I think it makes sense. Vijay, I think we all can agree. Let's go with the strongest 11 now. Since we considered Reece James's injury, we should do that with Nkunku too. So Madueke should take that spot. I think I agree. Yeah. Trevoh, you want to add anything to that, or were you still speaking, VJ?
To be honest, if we're gonna build for now, I see Conor Gallagher playing also with Enzo and versus Caicedo. The way
No. We're saying,
Pochettino,
but these guys are fit. These guys are all fit. You said, but
yes,
we're not talking about tomorrow's lineup. But go ahead with your
yes,
argument.
yes. Let's remember this. Mauricio Pochettino loves Conor Gallagher. So if you play this formation 4-3-3, that's where you see Conor Gallagher do well. So if you won't be sold, I see him playing also. I won't lie.
Hmm. Interesting, really. Yeah. So yeah, let's stick with those that are fit right now. And Conor Gallagher didn't get a chance. Did I even give him an opportunity? Because I'm sure even if I picked him, I'm I'm not sure people in the chat will pick him. I am expecting a beautiful game to rush in at the late hour also and tap in on the lineup. Possibly he would do that, probably listening. I don't understand why Chelsea is trying to sign another winger rather than a common like Kudus. We still need a winger. We need numbers in that area. I have to be honest with you. Let's see what else we have here. James should be there too. No, he shouldn't. He's not fit. If we're picking the strongest 11, even now he's out injured. Also, if we're going by the luxury showcase, let's speak with the players that are fit now. He doesn't come in. There and let's see what else we have here. Nkunku over Lavia in the middle area. Mudryk is quality and specialist on the right. No, but let's just go. Mudryk takes it now because Nkunku isn't fit. We already have Stalin, Mudryk, Noni, Maatsen, and Angelo. Angelo is out on loan. Angelo is gone. He's at Strasbourg right now. Mudryk on the left. Noni plays on the right. I haven't seen him on the left-hand side. Maatsen, he came. I'm not sure whether he plays. Has he played on the right for us at any time? Nkunku is a better 8 than Enzo, but we're not talking about 8 here. But let's see what we have here. Marc and Neum. Let's see what else we have here. Nkunku has to be there, but he's injured. Let's go from there. And Oseji, is that Oseji favor? Nkunku needed to be there. He cannot be there when he's injured. Yeah, if that makes sense. Let's see. Where am I? Wow, quite a lot to catch up with. Enzo starts in an advanced role, enabling Caicedo, Lavia to operate in the pivot. The evolution remains to be seen, but it's important to keep in mind that a 4-2-3-1 formation will be the foundation. Yeah, I think I agree with you. Players who have an injury record should be sold by CFC. Let's see what else we have here. Do you think Enzo can play he can play as an 8? I think so. Yeah, but for me, I'd rather him start from a deeper position. Lavia, Caicedo. Lavia, I think, should play centrally. He's the best in terms of beating the press, better than the 3-1-2, the three of them. I think he tops them in that aspect. Big up to you too, Eugene. I hope you're doing well. I appreciate you joining. Let's see anything else we have here. Play Enzo as a 10, Lavia and Caicedo double sixes. We can do that in a 4-2-3-1 structure. Simeon Omonza, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for the donation. We appreciate that. There's no way that Enzo would play a 10. I don't want him to play a 10 either, but a lot of people think we should play him there. In my opinion, we shouldn't. He's a deep line playmaker and would be more effective if he operates from a different position. Let me get your thoughts on that again, VJ. Ty, let me start with you. Ty, the argument, people arguing that Enzo should play a 10, I don't think he makes sense. To me, he'd be more effective playing from a deeper position. Except VJ, I sent you something so you can look at it. Ty, are you there?
Yeah, I've responded.
Okay, thank you. How about you, Trevoh, the argument that Enzo should play in a 10th position?
No. I think playing him there will be wasting his awareness of those long passes to our attackers. Also, the way he controlled the game will be wasting that also. We need that engine in the midfielder. We need that Ferrari in the midfielder. I'm sorry.
Yep, and we need him. His vision. He's a deep line playmaker. I get it. If you play him further forward, he's gonna get more assists. But the most important aspect of his game, which is controlling the game and dictating the pace of the game and all that, he will lose that. Um, we've all been calling for us to pair him with a more defensive-minded player so that he will have the independence to be more adventurous on the pitch. That's all we need. We don't need him to go play in a 10 position. If the manager does it, who am I? We're not going to argue against that, but we'll see what happens. So let's see. There's no way. Yeah, that's how I see it. Till Sterling is ahead of Mudryk. Poch likes wingers that can play inside. Hence, why Mudryk isn't playing in. Raheem Nani has to learn to play inside. I think he would drill them to start playing that way. Nkunku plays well as an 8. I like my 8 to give a penetrating through balls, not just a passing sideways and barely keeping the ball. Yeah, I think I agree with you. I concur with assessment of the new panelists. Several managers opt to alter their formations mid-game season, but yeah, that's why you use the term foundation. Yep. For which Pochettino is recognized during his tenure at Sports. Yep, which means he mixes it up. He's not static. Employed a back 3 in the final quarter hour or so, often in conjunction with substitutions. The new panelist analysis is indeed commendable. All right, thank you so much for that. And I think Enzo is more of an 8 than a 10. Yeah, a good argument too. Almaji Chico's here. Enzo is better in the 8 and than the 8, 10. I don't think he's actually playing the 10 position. I am still not seeing the big issue resolved at Chelsea, which is the goal scoring. I think we'll be good, honestly. Let's do the 4-2-3-1 structure. So let's say, should we, again, I'm going to start with you, VJ. Do you think we should consider injured players? I'd say no, because we'll build it based on available players. Then when they come back, we can consider them. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that'll make sense because you don't know how they're going to come back as well, and how it's going to impact their performance. So yeah, it's better to have players right now, whoever is not injured, to be in our in this team at least, and then we build from there. Maybe I think we'd probably do it mid-season as well. Coach, I believe
I
around
think
December
we should do mid-season also.
Yeah, so maybe at that point in time we could take them into the equation.
So let me have you plug in. I'll be plugging in for you. Name your starting 11 here. From what we have now, it's Sanchez. What do you think?
Okay,
otherwise?
This is not for tomorrow's game, right? This is again
no. Tomorrow's game we'll do the predictor lineup.
That's tomorrow.
Blue Money Show tomorrow, yeah.
All right, so mine would be Sanchez. On the left back, it would be Chilwell. I think Maatsen would still alternate, but Chilwell. Colwill, player 2, that would be Colwill. Silva.
All right.
Maybe at times we see Colwill and Badiashile together, considering Silva's age and all that.
When it's available for selection.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. So player 5 could be Gusto.
Right now, Gusto, because he's the one available. We don't even know when James comes back.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Not to digress so much, but then yesterday Alphonso Davies was amazing for Bayern.
I love that guy.
Anyways, yeah, he's good. Player 7 would be Caicedo.
Right.
6 would be Enzo. We're so used to seeing our number 8 very defensive. Maybe the Jorginho, Conte, and Kovacic had led us to believe that they cannot score goals now. I think even 8s can go for those penetrating passes and maybe at times shoot for the goal. Enzo has a good history of scoring goals with River Plate as well.
Yeah, he has some good goals in him. You could argue since he joined us. I think he's been taxed with you can say contributing defensively, which it's not something he's that used to. So you can say that affected his game a bit, in my opinion. But yeah, you go ahead with what you were saying.
Right now, he's got the freedom. So
Yeah, exactly.
maybe we'd see Enzo more on a higher area, but not so much to say that he would play, 10. All right.
Mhm.
So in this front three, 8 would be that's a left wing, right?
Mhm.
Mudryk. I think we'll have to go with Mudryk. 9 could be Madueke. Not changing the lineup so much, am I?
No,
I mean, the
it will be
players at
similar,
least.
but I think where you're going to have a problem
Yeah.
is here.
Yeah. I was
The
about to say
change
that.
isn't much. That's where you're going to have a problem is there. Yeah.
Ideally, I would have preferred Nkunku there, but due to his
He's not
unavailability,
available.
maybe
Yeah, it's now you can say what's his name?
Chukwuemeka.
Gallagher does play there, but we have Gallagher and we have Connie Chukwuemeka. Who else can play in the 10th position there that we have right now? I don't know
I think
anybody. Just the two of
yeah,
them. Really.
it's probably going to be just 2 of them. Maybe Chukwuemeka.
So let me use the poll for that one.
Yeah.
But go ahead with what you're saying. I'm going to put up the poll. Yeah. Go ahead with what you're saying.
So yeah. So my reasoning for Chukwuemeka is that Chukwuemeka has this. Both of them have this sense of lunging into tackles, right? Gallagher as well as Chukwuemeka. But with Chukwuemeka's position right now at the player 10, at the top, we'd still risk that. It's fine because it's most times it's going to be higher up the pitch. It would not have a huge impact, right? Gallagher is better in terms of tackling. Maybe we'd need him towards the end phase of the game in the midfield area, the last 30 minutes. But Chukwuemeka, if you're not utilizing him in 10, I'm not sure where you would anyways utilize him, right? So maybe our first option would be to have Chukwuemeka play as a player 10. And at times, we'd see Gallagher play alternating with Chukwuemeka either at 10 or maybe he could go to the midfield as well, depending on how the game progresses. I think we would use Gallagher's versatility to fit him anywhere in the midfield area and have Chukwuemeka play as our central 10 until Nkunku comes back.
So you think your choice here is Chukwuemeka?
Chukwuemeka, yeah.
I think he's better equipped to fulfill that role, except if the manager wants, you can say Gallagher's, you can say work ethic and his pressing and all that, then he'd be the choice for him. So, but let's see what those in the chat, what player they select. So you said Chukwuemeka, I'm going to plug it in, but once I kill the poll, maybe there'll be a need to change it up, maybe not. I don't know. That one there, I'm still not seeing. Here's the thing, I think we scored a lot of goals during preseason. The season is just starting, and the Liverpool games, Chelsea versus Liverpool games, they usually, for a while, hasn't been a high-scoring game. So, some people knew what's going to end in the draw. I'm not going to say we haven't solved that problem yet. I think there's still time. But imagine the defense of Caicedo and Lavia, 2 DMs, and we say, Enzo, do whatever you want. You are the Messi of this. I think it makes sense. As much as it makes sense, but you'll be losing one more player that you could say add to the offensive department, in my opinion. I think that's the sort of thing I'd see Mourinho do. Enzo is excellent as an 8. And Al Farouki, I think he will fulfill the 8 role very well. Thanks, coach. The screen is clear. What screen is clear? I'm seeing everything there because I have another monitor there. Let's see. Keep dropping the likes and on the stream. Gallagher has a better scoring ability. Yeah, that's for sure. He has again, he can get you goals if he plays closer to the final third. But that's besides the question. That you need more from your 10. If you watched that game, if you rewatched that game against Liverpool, Chukwuemeka, when he grew into the game, he's an intelligent player. Whenever he's in tight spaces, let's say on the left-hand side, he has the intelligence to look up and find someone on the right-hand side to switch the ball so we have space to do something good with the ball. He doesn't try to dribble unnecessarily, and he can only get better. But Gallagher, I don't think he doesn't have the technical ability that I think that number 10 role requires. Gallagher, for me, will be more effective if you play him on the flanks. I get it. He did well playing in the midfield area, but if you play him in the right wing, honestly, he's played there before in a similar structure, 4-2-3-1 against Wolves on the ground, and he did quite well for me. Essentially, sometimes he seems a bit confused. Though that has changed a bit. Usually, he's so much in a hurry to make decisions, but he's improved a bit. But I'd rather Carney play in the 10 than Gallagher. But that's just my opinion. I don't know. Ty, are you still there? Ty, if you're in there, Bobby. Okay, I'm gonna come with you, Bobby. The number 10 role in a 4-2-3-1 structure. What do you think, Gallagher or Chukwuemeka for you? I probably will take him a while to unmute his device because he's using a small device. And I prefer Chukwuemeka than Gallagher in the number 10 role, in my opinion, honestly. If you say on the flanks, maybe right wing, I say just play Gallagher there. He'd do well there. He played on the flanks for Crystal Palace, and he was brilliant throughout that particular season for them. Got goals too. And I don't know. He hasn't gotten the chance to play that much for us in that area. I don't know. Let me ask you this, VJ. For what's his name? Andrey Santos. What is his place in this team, really? Because if we're keeping him and with Enzo, Caicedo, and Lavia, where does he have a place in this team? If we're being honest, if we keep him, that's going to be detrimental to his development. He needs to be playing. And it's not like we have too many competitions.
Was that a question for me?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Andrew Santos.
Fair enough. So, okay. First thing that I think we will have to understand is that his age. He's young. He might have played really good in other leagues, but then he's coming into one of the strongest league, let's say, in terms of physical presence as well. So I think it's going to be, I'm not saying he cannot perform, don't get me wrong. All that I'm saying is we need to be very careful with this individual in the midfield, because it's very easy to lose him to the strength of the Premier League in the midfield. So I think it needs to be a tactical approach when it comes to Andrey Santos. We use him sporadically in the team and not have him play the entire 90 most times, but keep using him sporadically where we would need his presence in the midfield. I think it's going to be a slowly decisive settling down for Andrey Santos, if you know what I mean. I don't think so. Pochettino would want to rush him into the squad. As much as exciting talent he is, I think we still have to protect the player given the age and his physical attribute. I saw him during preseason. He's really good, but it doesn't take away the fact that he's still young and he's going to come against probably 6-foot midfielders most times in any team if you go.
But the ultimate protection for such a player would be him playing, because the protection in question you're mentioning will be his development. Correct me if I'm wrong. He has to be playing, but that will not happen if he stays. We don't have too many games. If you're saying he plays cup games, I don't know what. Okay, you go ahead. Let me hear you out.
Yeah, if you think about it, when I say settling down, I'm talking about him getting trained as well with Enzo, Caicedo, the likes of Lavia in that midfield during training sessions, right? Now, if he's up against them, I'm pretty sure Chelsea plays, games against them, and they practice with one another. That's when he'll start realizing the true strength of the Premier League. Maybe that will help him. That is the phase where he kind of understands what Prem is and how he needs to be built up for Prem. I think Pochettino would give him that time to train with the squad more, to understand what is expected in the Prem, and then probably bring him into the squad rather than to just rush him in. Because right now we don't feel the necessity to rush him in with the incomings of Caicedo and Lavia into the team. So he's got that cushion. Pochettino's got that cushion. So I believe he's going to be training. He's going to be getting a lot of minutes in the training initially, and then slowly coming in. I also believe it shouldn't take so much of time. Maybe the first quarter of this league, he won't be probably playing, but then slowly he'll start showing up. And we never know. We still have the best. Theoretically, we still have one of the best midfields in the Premier League. But what if one of them, touchwood, one of them gets injured, right? So you'd need someone like him.
It's not simple to figure out how Pochettino is going to make that work and make sure he plays enough to keep developing, because just playing cup games every now and then will not do. Maybe he gets a few minutes after, you can say, comes in the second half in each game. That will go a long way. But let's see how the manager handles that. I think I have one more question for you, and then with that, I think we can call it a day. We've been streaming for 2 hours plus right now. So I think, like I say, Lavia and Enzo should start. We're not talking about tomorrow. Lamin Baz, to be clear there. I love Gallagher. I like him. There's a good play in him. But I still keep arguing that he's more effective on the flanks, in my opinion. Usman Tolo Kamara, coach, I wanted to know the number that they give Lavia and Caicedo. Lavia, I think 45, Caicedo 25. Maatsen can also play there. Okay, good argument. That number 10 role is very important to use, especially in the midfield area. I think I agree with you. Let's see what else we have here. All the Cobham grads will definitely get game time, especially for games we are winning comfortably in cups. But there's no guarantee that will be the case. Mudryk and Jackson link up. Yep, they I've seen that during preseason, not once, not twice. Depends on Chukwuemeka with no experience. Yeah, but who else do you play there? And I think I've heard, was it Tyrone Sajdiva arguing that we should play Sterling in the 10th position? But his thing, Sterling at the moment looks lost. I wouldn't risk playing in the 10th position. I think he gets even more confused, honestly, in my opinion. Let's see. I remember Poch playing Dembele and Wayama as a sit-and double with Eriksen creating up front. Dembele, Musa Dembele, the Belgium international, former Belgium international. What a player. I wanted Chelsea to sign him. We will have Lavia and Caicedo sitting with Enzo creating up front. That may well be the case. Do you think that will happen, VJ?
We might see him, but again, it tracks back to the risk that I was talking about, not to have all your three midfield options throw in straight away. But maybe that could happen as well. And I'm not really comfortable seeing Enzo at the 10 position. Not that he won't perform, don't get me wrong. But I feel he is better usable at the 8 for Pochettino. That's the reason why I would want him there. At 10, I think we'd still manage with Chukwuemeka to start with.
Okay, yes, then. Let's talk about Chukwuemeka and let's be objective here. Right now, you can say he has a place in the team. But what if we sign a Kudus? You could say it's over for him.
Okay. I'm not sure about Kudus' capability to play a 10. I thought he was out and out a winger, a direct winger.
No, I think he plays 10. For Ajax, he's played there for him. I think did he actually play on the flanks for Ajax? I think Kudus can play a 10.
If he can play a 10, I think then yeah, theoretically it's over for Chukwuemeka.
Okay, let's bring him back to Gallagher. Does he, as it stands now, have a place in this team? Because we've seen rumors suggesting that the club wants to sell him. If they get a sizable offer, they will let him go. Some are saying that Pochettino likes him; he's not going anywhere. It's hard to really know what to believe will happen because I don't think he'd like it too. The fact that we've paid that much money for Lavia, that much money for Caicedo, even that much money for what's his name also. Because we paid a lot for Andrey Santos, right? I can't remember how much. It's tight for him, really. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, as much as I look at Gallagher, two areas, right? From a financial aspect and from the club aspect. I mean, the game aspect. With respect to the game, he's definitely a utility player. We cannot deny that. He's definitely a utility player. He will give his all out on the pitch whenever he comes in. Right. And that's the best that you get out of Gallagher. He's not technically really gifted as much as you'd see a Brazilian or an Argentinian perform in our midfield right now, but he's still really going to put his heart out. He understands English football from the grassroots, right? For him, Premier League is not new, right? So these are the points that would obviously play in favor of Gallagher. If you think about it, he's still a very good utility player. You could put him at 65 minutes. He'd give you everything until 90. Challenge all around, right? He doesn't, even if he picks up an yellow card after 65, you still have him because he is someone, let's say, for an argument's sake, we find these midfielders picking up yellow card very early in the game. You need someone to put up those tackles. Caicedo, if he picks up yellow card in a big game, first half, you need someone like Gallagher for the second half because you cannot risk Caicedo there and getting a red card in the second half. So these are the areas where Gallagher could feature in. And there is a lot of scenarios like this where Gallagher can get game time. I think Gallagher still is going to be an integral part of this team and for Pochettino in this year's football. But now talking about the financial side of it. With Gallagher, we've not spent any money. And he's going to be pure profit in the books.
Yeah.
Like what happened with Lewis Hall, Lewis Hall, it's going to be the same case with Gallagher. So if you look at it from a management perspective, if the club decides to sell Gallagher off to balance books, you cannot really falter them, can you now? Now that they've got one of the best midfielders, like in Caicedo, Lavia, into the team. So at that point in time, you might have to, put your heads down and say, you know what? Yeah, Gallagher is a good player, top player. He's probably going to be successful in the club that he goes in. But yeah, we might not see him play with Chelsea anymore longer, given that we need to balance our books as well. I'm pretty sure you must have heard to the, conversation about, how Chelsea is able to do this profitable business in a short span of time from Simon Jordan at Talk Sports. Whatever he says makes absolute sense. And he's also highlighting about the risk factor if we don't qualify for the Champions League. And that risk factor can be minimized if we start selling our academy products, like what we've just done with Hull, right? And we probably would do with Gallagher. And those are the way that we would minimize risk, right? As much as it pains for us as fans to see our academy graduates not seeing a full-time opportunity with Chelsea Football Club for a longer period of time, it's still, end of the day, a business and a business proposition where we need to manage our books, cut out of losses. And these things need to happen, though we like it or not, when we run a business. So in that aspect, I think selling Gallagher would make more sense from a management perspective, but he definitely is a talented player who can be utilized by Pochettino in our squad as a utility player. That's where I leave it.
Yep, and just saying, why else do
Can I
we
come
need
in on
this?
this one?
Yeah, go ahead.
Let me just say that Gallagher is not going anywhere. Unless Chelsea have a reinforcement plan that would make no sense in him staying, I can assure you Gallagher will not be sold this summer. He's going to be very much a part of the squad going forward. You can see it from what Pochettino is doing. Pochettino has not only been playing him consistently in pre-season, but has started off the season playing him, and he'll probably feature as a starter against West Ham. So all these dreams of selling Gallagher, forget it. There are so many other players to offload that can address the books. Lukaku's still stinking out the place. We need to finish off with the issue with Ziyech. There's Malang Sarr, who's lying around the injury table trying to slip under the radar. There's Callum Hudson-Odoi that is also 100% profit, although that profit is significantly reduced by his poor form. It's not Gallagher that's going to leave, unfortunately. My concern is if he keeps rejecting new contracts, Ian Maatsen might be on the threat. And he's another one that Pochettino really likes and doesn't want to get rid of. after getting rid of the obvious players that need to get rid of, what Chelsea need to do to address their books is focus on their sponsors, the shirts, the sleeves, and the new guys that are coming in for a financial injection towards the stadium. We're in a very healthy place. In a very healthy place.
Can you take it back to his contract? You talked about it. You're saying if he keeps rejecting new contract offers, what happens? The club will be forced to sell him.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's rejected one, fair enough. There may be some I's and T's that weren't quite dotted and crossed.
Mm-hmm.
But if we hear of him rejecting more and more, almost like the Mount situation, then the club will sell him. And for me, that is an indication that you're trying to hold the club to ransom with something they can't offer you. So you should go. But we're not there yet. We don't know that yet. Also, another player that is more likely to be sold before Gallagher is Trevoh Chalobah. I don't want him to go, but I think he's more at risk because the defence is slightly better stocked. But I can assure you, and I'll put my neck out, and I'll stand corrected if it happens because nothing is 100% in life. But as it stands, I can assure you that Conor Gallagher will not be sold by Chelsea Football Club this summer, for sure.
Let's see. And it's a good thing he's fighting to stay because if any manager is going to make him a better player, it's Pochettino. Why else do we need many midfielders in comparison to wingers? We will see Enzo higher as Rickson did under Pochettino at Spurs. Alternatively, with Chukwu or Gallagher, we have so many midfielders and Santos has been asked to stay. Yeah, that's why I'm asking, where does he fit? And how much game is he going to play to continue developing properly? Enzo should play freely. That's just the language. That is the language and not in an advanced role. I think Enzo may well continue to start deep, in my opinion. But let's see if he plays in an advanced role. Where we'll find out. It's up to the manager to decide how he wants to use them. But let's see what the manager does. None of Gallagher and Chukwu deserves to be 10, but Gallagher is better than Chukwu. Chukwu always plays a more advanced than Gallagher, but still hasn't any goals and assists, 0 outputs. Okay, you basing your argument on just statistics. Okay, Santos is a backup for Caicedo and Lavia for Enzo, in my opinion. And we don't use competition maybe. We don't use the language backup here, which means you're accepting if the starting player gets injured, whoever comes in is will you can say produce a subpar performance. Conor has 2 years left on his contract. If Poch really likes him that much, then extend. Then that's a problem. If he has 2 years, and like Bobby explained, if he refuses to extend, they will sell him. Because next year, if he refuses to extend, it becomes a problem. Except if he played that much, then clubs will see that clubs get to see how good he is and like him. Even if he has 6 months left, they will just take him. Enzo scored 12 goals and created 10 from 23 games while playing up front in his first team, River Plate. But at Benfica, he operated from a deeper position, didn't he? Chukwuemeka 13 appearances at Stamford, at Aston Villa. Is this who you want? You slug it out with those that are voting. I don't get to vote. So you ask them the question. Andrey Santos is very good, but he has to adapt to the intensity of the Premier League. And did Gallagher start off as a 10? No, he didn't. He didn't. For me, I think he started in the central midfield area. Deeper, I think so, if my memory serves me right. But beyond that, he played predominantly on the flanks. If he played any other position at Crystal Palace, I don't know. The 6 players for 3 midfield, LFC, and backup, that's Lavia, Fernandez, and Caicedo. Backup, Gallagher, Santos, Chukwuemeka. That's our status for midfield for the season. Okay, let's see if that happens. But right now, this is what we have as the strongest 11, given who is fit and who's not. And it's not just us deciding. And West Ham's bid for Mohamed Kudus rejected by Ajax, offer below required fee. Ajax wants to keep the 23-year-old after multiple exits, but he plans to go. Ajax, if they want to keep you, they're going to keep you. And the more we get closer to the end of the transfer window, they don't sell. West Ham bid for Mohamed Kudus. I think we've read that. Go ahead. Were you saying something, VJ?
No. Go on.
Okay.
Nothing.
I remember Poch playing Wayama and Dembele. Pochettino wants a strong midfield in most cases, and he has that now. So there's a chance he plays Caicedo and Lavia to free up Enzo, maybe, but we'll see. No way Gallagher or Chukwuemeka are going to make it into the first 11. I suggest Poch switches to a 4-3-3, which will accommodate Caicedo, Lavia, and Enzo. We've done that before. There
Can
you
I
go.
comment on
Yeah,
that?
go ahead.
I will reiterate Pochettino. You're not at Chelsea to play. You're at Chelsea to train. Not everybody is a first team player. In fact, everybody is subject to rotation. There's going to be very few players in Chelsea now and onwards that will command that regular first team position per se. There will be those that will know, okay, when match day comes, we know that Maatsen, Colwill is in. We know that Sanchez is goalkeeper, that sort of thing. But a lot of them, especially the forward line, and at the moment we know Jackson is a shoo-in, a lot of them will be subject to rotation. Now, there's a young team anyway, but extra young players, and I'm not talking about people like Chukwuemeka and Gallagher per se, but extra young players like your likes of Santos, who's 18 years old, he is going to be in the squad. He will get game time, but he's not going to be playing week in, week out. He's going to be drip fed into the squad. And every opportunity he gets, he has to show he is the person to threaten Enzo for starting position, to threaten Caicedo, to threaten Lavia. It's a big task ahead, but that's his job. So all this concern about players not playing, oh, you're not in the first 11, yada, 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 woe is me. We need to stop it. This is Chelsea Football Club. Nobody does that with Man City. Nobody does that with Man United. Nobody does that with Liverpool. Why the hell do we expect to be playing players week in, week out and not having anybody in reserve? That's not how top-class football works. Sometimes your position is in the squad. It's as simple as that. You don't like it, you have a problem, Pochettino says, there's the door. You won't go to any other top-flight club and be starting. It's not going to happen for many of these players. So if you want to step down and play for a lesser club, fine, bye. But if you want to play for the top clubs, winning the top things, unless you're a top player, you will be part of their squad. It's just how it works, period.
Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate you doing that. And this says, let's say, Chukwuemeka is better in the 10 because he can play through little or pockets of spaces, especially when the opponent is compact. That's the truth. I think he's good at finding solutions in tight spaces. The only thing Gallagher will have in that 10 is more goals. Yep, I think I agree with you. They differ in so many ways. But I would say Chukwuemeka is more, you can say, equipped to fulfill the number 10 role. Unless someone drops a bomb, goes 60 million and above, Gallagher is going nowhere. I think so too, but it's going to be tight for him. Maatsen may go on loan, Bobby, but the problem is, what do we do with Cucurella or Chua? Those you cannot sell them. It's as simple as that, and I'm sure you know that quite well. None of those guys can be trusted with the number 10 role. We're talking about what we have available to us now. If only Nkunku was available, but he's not. That's the thing. With some hope, we desperately need a striker. Jackson can for now play in the 10. I would say no, in my opinion. Let's say Oseji Trevoh, I can promise you that Gallagher is still going to be at Chelsea. Again, if anybody's going to make him a better manager, he stays. But he needs to sign a new contract. Otherwise, it becomes a risk for the club, and they will decide they will sell him. Humphreys has shown enough qualities, and Thiago is still there for this season. So Chalobah may be sold. It makes sense. I think he may well end up being sold. You forgot Connor has 2 years left on his contract, and that's an issue, really. Gallagher isn't going to be extended, so it's behooves us to sell him. Okay. Let's see CA Mafia with Disasi and Fofana coming back next soon. Okay. Next year, do we really need a Chalobah? That's a good question. We're packed in that area, so he will most likely, be chopped off.
Selling Chalobah could be difficult given that he's just picked up an injury as well. So not sure how we'll do
so
that.
selling him this window will be problematic. Yeah. So yeah, go ahead if you were still talking, VJ.
Also on the Paqueta situation, I think there's going to be there's a betting issue that he's been facing right now. Not sure how that has progressed, but then that would really have an impact on West Ham's deal with Kudus. So right now they've also bid and the bid was rejected. How far they can go higher with that Kudus bid is going to be a question mark, given that they would be finding it hard to sell Paqueta to City now.
Yeah, let's see what else we have here. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes will go along. I appreciate you all. 122 likes. I think we've it's been long. Bobby, let me start with you, VJ. Anything else you want to say with regards to everything we've talked about today?
I think Bobby came in with very good points as well on the Gallagher situation. While I agree that he is a really a good utility player for Pochettino, if at all we're selling Gallagher, I still believe this is the season where we get the highest bid for him personally. But yeah, having him in the squad will not hurt us. If I'm being honest, he's really a good player that can fit into our system. His work ethic is super good. So I'm really up for it.
You want to add anything to the lineup we selected here? The reason behind it, if you can help explain why we selected this guy, why Nkunku isn't there. And Bobby made it clear this is the strongest 11 for now. Mid-season, we can change that. And when players recover, we can change that. Go ahead.
Yeah. I think you're spot on. Like, we don't have Nkunku here only for the reason that he's injured.
Yeah.
We are not saying Nkunku doesn't deserve a place in the squad. Like Bobby mentioned, there is no guaranteed starters in this team or any top flight team for that matter, unless you've proved yourself in the team. I see some chat conversations as well, but Enzo and Caicedo are definite starters. Enzo has been a definite starter for Chelsea for the last 1 year, but that's also due to his performance, right? I'm not saying that he doesn't have bad games, but the reputation that he brings and the impact that he has brought in with the good games that he's played for Chelsea is what precedes him and allows him to stay in the team for a longer period of time, even if he's had out of form. So things like that obviously have an impact on the length of how long Enzo is being given in spite of a poor form or anything of that sort. So having said that, a broad squad is good for bigger teams, and everyone has to fight for in the squad. I think at this moment in time, with the number of players that we have fit, this is possibly the strongest lineup that we could select. On paper, yes, this is strongest, and how they combine with each other is something that we will have to wait and watch. And based on that, we might see some changes as well. Player 11 would be Jackson without any question, Coach.
Yeah, and for this one, I think where people has issue is Chukwuemeka standing as a 10. I think that's the best we can do right now. And Nkunku isn't available, except if the manager decides tomorrow he wants to play Enzo as a 10. Then but right now I think he's the most suitable, and he's the only guy available now that the manager has played there. During preseason, he played them in the 10th position, didn't he? And Gallagher didn't play Gallagher in the 10th position. So which means likely if anybody's going to start in the 10th position now, according to, if we're following the pattern of what Pochettino has done since he took over, it's Chukwuemeka. Correct me if I'm wrong, or do you differ?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, when we had both the players available, if the manager's gone for one player for a specific spot, then obviously he's seeing him on that role. And managers do not think like us. Just give them one match, and if they doesn't perform well, change it in the next game. He's obviously seen certain things in the training which he feels can be replicated on the pitch, and based on that judgment is what he's made him start and that in the game. So I believe if we go by that pattern, like you mentioned, maybe Chukwuemeka would start for us. But that doesn't go to say that Chukwuemeka would be in our strongest 11 after 6 months if we look back. Maybe he gets that first opportunity. But for him to use that opportunity or not is still in his hands. Right? If he doesn't, then obviously Gallagher would replace him there.
And what we've seen so far is promising.
Yeah.
What we've seen, because he held his own against Liverpool. He did. He grew into the game gradually, just like everyone else. Gallagher, everybody that struggled as when the game started. I think we'll see. Maybe we'll buy a 10 and establish 10, and then we'll start questioning where is his place in this team. Now,
if I'm being honest, Coach, if I'm being honest, not to oversell this, but still, in the last few, the number of years that I've been watching Chelsea, and that too in the last couple of years, it's been really off. And Chelsea at the Liverpool game actually had a better ball control more than anything. Right? We always chase behind the ball. Right? We don't play when the ball is with us the way that we did against Liverpool. I really love the way that we were able to perform that way against a top tier team in Liverpool, and we really saw patterns of plays, didn't we? We missed that. We missed that in the past. We really saw that patterns of play out. We were more direct. We actually had a purpose in each of our attacks. And those are the things that I'm excited to look forward in this season. At Stamford Bridge, this is what we were missing the last season. This year, we're probably going to get that. And once we have that, and with the squad harmony, I believe this team is destined for wonders.
I think they are indeed. Bobby, before I catch up with what we have the chat and call it a day, and VJ, we have a conversation once the show ends. There's something I want to discuss with you to see if it'd be interested in it. Bobby, you there? Your final thoughts before I catch up with what we have in the chat and call it a day. I'm waiting for you, but I'm gonna keep getting what we have in the chat. Just having a conversation there with someone. Let's see. A performance doesn't guarantee you any minutes or a game. We have the right to worry about players not playing. Yep, that's the truth. And hello to you too, Kim. So I appreciate you joining. I hope you're doing well. Happy Saturday, Coach. Hope you have a good day. A great day. You too, brother Rido. I hope you're doing well, Rido. We don't have to worry for players. The players have to think about competing and performing. We support the team, and again, we support the team and the club. And I think I agree with you. Big up to you, Kim. So I agree. Lavia can start from the bench. He's not starting tomorrow. This is not tomorrow's lineup. We're just thinking the best possible 11 right now. Overall, we did 4-3-3, and then this is 4-2-3-1. I don't think Lavia will even be on the bench tomorrow, in my opinion. Even if he is, he's not going to start. If anybody gets a chance to start, it will be Caicedo. But do I think that will happen? I honestly do not know. Malang Sarr will also be pure profit when he is fit. He can be sold. How is that? I don't think he is. Is that the case? Malang
He's
Sarr
injured now.
No, but will he be pure profit? Oh, because he joined us as a free agent. Now I get where that's coming from. Does Nkunku have a history? Some people are arguing that's the case. I don't know. I'm concerned. Yes, Mushi, he has been unlucky last year. You could say that right now. Call it unlucky. Hola, Roger. I hope you're doing well. Likeness is greatness. What we are about to round up. Everyone remember where they were when Armstrong landed on the moon, when JFK was shot, and when Coach asked the Santos question. Much love to you, Roger. I appreciate you finding the time to join. And our X factor is Jackson. If he banks in over 15 goals, I think we can compete for a while. And the good thing about him is not selfish. Even when you play him out of the game, he drops deep or does something that's important for the team. Roger, big up. Just saying hello to big up Roger there. JC wasn't helpful up front. Chilwell wasn't helpful up front. And how is Enzo's best game not better than Galatasaray? So here's the thing. I'm going to say this. I think we can do better than Chilwell. I get it. His experience is a good defender. But sometimes he can be frustrating. His inability to beat this man and progress the ball whenever he has people on him, he opts for safer option, like going backwards or sideways. So, Bobby, if you're there, otherwise we'll be rounding up soon. I appreciate you all.
Yep.
And what's that?
Yeah, I
And
agree about
let me see.
Chilwell.
Mm-hmm.
I do think it's frustrating. And the sad thing about it is that because he's in the way, as well as Cucurella, that young Lewis Hall got sold.
Yeah, I would have, again, even though I want Luis Hall to start playing in the midfield area, I would have rather one of Chilwell or Cucurella go and keep what's his name, and keep Lewis Hall. I think he's a better player. He's a better overall player than the two of them. I get it, he's not a defender, but wow, that kid. This is just, I'm not overhyping him. It's from what I've seen, really. Yeah, but
I agree.
I wish him well anyway. So, Bobby, your final thoughts are the lineup we selected, and thank you for mentioning clearly this should be temporarily because things can change, and when things change, we can come back to it again and select the strongest. You can say another strong. You can say strongest 11, and there's a chance by the time the transfer window shuts, we may well come back and say we're changing this. But you go ahead, Bobby. Your final thoughts.
Yeah, I mean that's what we have at the moment. It's going to change, of course, especially if we get our injuries back. But yeah, for now, that's Chelsea's strongest 11, starting 11. However, we still have to remember there is a 5-man substitution system, and I think that's going to be well utilized this season.
Yep. Thank you so much, Bobby. I'm going to catch up then. Were you still talking? Okay, round up. Then I'll have just a 10. If you have time, VJ, just a 5-10 minutes talk. If you don't mind. Okay, Ty is still there. Okay, Ty, you go ahead. I thought you were gone.
I've been here for the past 20 minutes, just listening to Bobby.
I'm used
and listening to VJ, man. I've been here so long.
Ty, I'm used to saying, Ty, are you there? Ty, are you there? Sometimes you're gone.
Yeah, I was gone for a bit, but I came back and I was still listening because I didn't hear earpiece. I was hearing from a distance. But yeah. I mean, to agree with I agree with everything that he said. And obviously this is the best lineup that you can come up with for now. I've noticed that there's although there's nobody there for the number 9 spot, it all has to do with decisions.
Yeah, that's the most difficult, right?
Yeah, I mean, is it a case where Nkunku is going to be playing there? I am not sure. Broha still has to return, and if what Pochettino said is true, you can't forget about him. And although there's no certainty in terms of how he will fancy after coming back from an injury of such, and obviously it's going to take him time to really readjust because it's going to be almost a year since he's played professionally. So there's a lot of things, but obviously as you guys have said before, as the season progresses, it could change and it may change, and it's likely that it will change because the season can be unpredictable. Especially the goalkeeping area, you never know might happen there because we've heard that a bid has gone in for
Petrovic.
Name
Petrovic.
So things could change, and he has good statistics behind his name as well. So he could rival Sanchez for that spot and probably take it. So a lot of things can change, but for now, this is the best that can be come up with because at this time, there's not really much you can go off. It's just getting to the
Yep.
It was a good show.
Sorry? You were breaking up, Ty. So let me catch up here. Enzo left foot is better than Gallagher's right foot. Wow, some argument right there. Let's see. Glenn 10. I appreciate you joining, brother. We did talk about you during this when the show was starting. We haven't forgotten. We keep praying for you. It's all right. for one, I pray for you every day. I hope you're recovering well. Good streams, gents. Stuck to listening today. Enjoy your weeks. I appreciate you. Much love to you, and thank you for showing us that you've been listening, bro. You know we love you. Poch be like inviting Jackson to the office just to show him the clip of how he blasted that shot high versus Liverpool. But a good run for him, actually. I get it. Yeah, he knows. One thing I like about him, once he makes, again, he misses such chances, you can see how it pains him, honestly. He was pained for missing that, and that's good to see. But I think we have also some a gem there. And please go check out Tytalk's YouTube channel. Just a few more subscribers to get him to 1,000 subscribers. Let's help him get there. And I'm going to say this, there's a cross-platform show launching soon. Yeah, I'm not going to tell you the name because it's a risk. It launches next Thursday, and I think you'll love it. Every Thursday, it will be streaming simultaneously on multiple platforms. And yeah, it's going to be enjoyable. Something special for the Blues. Please go help Ty get to 1,000 subscribers. Let's see what else we have here. Big up to you too, Glenn. Once more, how can this be our best lineup when the coach has shown a red card to Jackson? And yeah, I saw that. If only we could not have been a sudden Ziyech, he could have been a better option on the 10 role. Yeah, but we have to sell him for reasons I believe you know. Oh, coach, so you rushed into the VAR. Yeah, I did. Much love, legends to you too, brother. Yeah, with that, we've come to the natural end of the show. I appreciate you all finding the time to join. We have in the house, Ty in the house, VJ in the house, Tyrone in, Bobby in the house, and Tobeho, my brother from the Madiba land, was in the house too. And Glenn 10 in the house. Litness is greatness. Welcome, Glenn. We love you so much, JC. Much love to you. We didn't see the beautiful game today. And Wisdom Hove, nice to see you, JC. All of you. Let's see. Ty is in the house. Jackson, aka 343 Dilemma, and so many other aliases, maybe, if that's what you prefer. And Roger Dinho, Porter's lawyer, chairman of the Goalkeepers Union. Who else again? Even Lampard's lawyer, Keparis Balaga's lawyer. Much love to you, Roger. Always nice to see you, brother. I love you so much. And CAA Mafia, all of you, Oladipo Mesole, Rido. And if I missed your name, apologies. See you guys next time. God bless us all, and bye.